Testing, testing. Too loud. All right. Well, welcome this evening to another episode. Gonna switch it up tonight. Not doing any articles or anything. We're just gonna have a discussion. Welcome. It's Friday night again, and here we are, back with another live episode of Red Pill Rhino. All right, let's get that overlay off the screen. Forgot to take that down. Shocking. Not the first time I've done that. First, I want to get a little housekeeping out of the way. We did lose a member of our community today. Well, not today, a few days ago, but the news has been getting around today. I wanted to address it briefly because he was a supporter of this channel. All-around good dude, great sense of humor. And always had high spirits no matter what was going on with him. I'm not going to speak on the specifics as to what happened, but he did pass away. I'll let others that knew him better speak on the specifics. I do know what happened, but I just don't want to address it. Unfortunately, we did lose a member of the community. His name was Frank. A lot of you know him as Channel 1-800-DUMB. And he was a good dude. He was a lot of fun. Especially when he got to singing, but he was always in good spirits. So, yeah, rest in peace, brother. Yeah. On that note, I am going to bring the panel in. Sorry to start that off on a somber note, but some of you probably didn't know, and I wanted to make sure to share that. But he is in a better place now, so that is a good thing. All right, we've got a full panel tonight, and we're going to do a fairly generic discussion, but I wanted to address this. It's been going around the community a little bit, and it's starting to sound reminiscent of certain toxic communities that we don't like, and I think it needs to be discussed. But on that note, let's bring in the full panel. So we have Crusader Nate tonight, of course, Tommy D, or Ron Jeremy, as some of you know him. MGTOW Mando is here as well. We have Jackal the Emperor. MGTOW Outlaws with us tonight, and of course our favorite Alaskan, Sean St. George. How are you guys doing tonight?
Well, right. No, I'm a bit down because Frank was someone that we always rode in the live streams with on True Blood streams, and you know I've been pretty. I'm just going to admit it. I've been crying all day, man, because it's been hard. You know, you get close to these people, and then when they leave, it's very somber.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. I've gotten pretty close to a lot of guys in this community. And you know, some of us have never met in person. But it's just a major loss when you lose anybody from this community, because we are a close-knit bunch. We might not always agree on everything. Sometimes we might not even get along completely, but it is a pretty close group here. And it's sad to hear when anybody, loses their battles. So, yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, I think we'll transition. I know it's kind of a heavy topic. I don't know. Frank had a sense of humor. So, Billy's not here tonight. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here. I think he's on a vacation or something, last I talked to him. However, his friend of ours did send me a Christmas letter. So let's open that. Let's find out what this is about. I can't show you the front of the card because it has my address on it, and that I'm not trying to dox myself live on air. However, the part I can show you says, there we go, the Saunders family. So let's just see what this is about. Oh no, I'm already not liking this. It's another photo. Yep. Okay. There it is. And some of you that know. The rest of you, this is April, and this is her family, and this is a Christmas card. We'll just set that there.
Our mutual friend who put that together is a sick genius.
Yeah, I'm so glad that April thought of me this holiday season. Thank you for that, I think. All right, let's get back to the panel. It's come to my attention the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot of discussion about how this community should work and how it shouldn't work. And I think one of my big concerns here is, I'll just full screen myself again. This isn't an exclusive members only club, for one. Two, a lot of the people that came to this community, most of this panel, actually probably all of this panel at one point, and most of you watching were at one point either blue pill in terms of relationships, or blue pill in terms of politics, or blue pill in terms of conspiracy, or whatever blue pill you were, right? And you eventually saw through the crap. We're trying to clean up language tonight. I'm going to do my best. No promises, but I'm going to try. And you found your way to communities like this, right? And now you have certain individuals that are trying to determine who and who is not fit to be part of this community. And I think that's a real problem and a real disservice to this community, because most of the people that found their way here were making mistakes prior to finding this group, prior to finding the Manosphere or the Red Pill guys or the MGTOW guys. At one point, and most of us admit this, I was a blue pill simp mangina. I think that's clean for YouTube. And I had to learn the hard way. And then I found guys like Pop, and I found guys like, Rollo's kind of gone his own way. But, with the Rational Male book, that is a good book. I do still recommend it, even if Rollo's kind of departed from his original mission. But, here's an example. You have channels that are so members only exclusive that call themselves MGTOW, yet they can't understand go your own way. It's go my way. Do what I tell you. You listen to me, otherwise you're wrong. And then you have other channels out there that are perfectly fine taking on opposing views, bringing them on the channel in a respectful manner, not to attack or bash them. And at the end of the day, you've won an ally who may come over to your side in the future, versus creating an enemy and acting quite a bit like the people you say you hate, aka feminists and Democrats, progressives, whatever you want to call it. When you become so focused, hyper-focused on keep them out, you never give them the opportunity to change their position, to change their ideas, and maybe wake up from their own delusion, right? So I, personally, would much rather be an open arms, open door policy kind of content creator myself. Now, you may not agree, and that's fine. I won't engage with beef with you. That's not going to happen. But I will tell you, I don't find it conducive to this community to suddenly try to become members only when every single one of you that came to this community stumbled to get here. None of you came here with all the answers. None of you, myself included. So I think my perspective, and then I'm going to go to the panel, if I were to see two opposing sides, right? Let's say I am a Democrat, which I'm not, but let's say I am. And I say something that my Democrat buddies don't like, and suddenly they try to cancel me, right? And I see how they behave, and it's vile and disgusting. And then I come over to this side of things, and the people here are treating me vile and disgusting, right? They're telling me I don't belong and that I'm mentally diseased and all of this. But really, I was maybe considering coming over to this side because they seem reasonable and rational, and then they behave like children. So now you're in this position where neither side looks really good. And you put a man in a position where he might find that there's nowhere he belongs, and he checks himself out. Real good job you would do there. Real disservice you would be doing to your fellow man who you claim you're trying to help. I am being very specific here. Think about what you're doing before you do something. Think before you speak. Because I'm telling you right now, if I were in that position, which is why I've chosen that path, if somebody is being ostracized by their blue-haired feminist friends and they come to us and we have an open discussion with them and they realize, hey, these guys aren't as bad as these crazy blue-haired feminists, that might form once again an ally that comes to our side and wakes up and sees the reality and then takes that on to some of his friends and wakes them up to the reality of things. See the difference there? One way, you're a complete a-hole and turned a person off from your community that may have saved them. The other way, you give them an opportunity, you offer out the olive branch. If they take it, they take it. If they don't, no laws. That's my perspective on it. I'm going to let the panel lead from here. We'll start. I don't really want to go in order. I want this to be more natural, but since he is the co-host, we'll start with Crusader and then open the floor from there. So, Crusader, your thoughts?
Well, in my usual fashion, I'll say something quick and witty, but, I try to think, but nothing happens. I had to lighten the mood there a little bit. Yeah. All I know is that I know nothing. All I know is that when I walked away from, common popular society close to 20 years ago, I saw mistakes being made. I saw things that didn't add up. The entire, whatever you'd want to call it, the men going their own way, the red pill, whatever you want to begin to call this enigma of a social movement, when I walked away from society, didn't exist. I remember living the lifestyle I am now long before Rollo even wrote a book, long before any of this stuff was ever being put out, ever being produced, ever being discussed. There were content creators, men and women, talking about the anomalies in society of what was going on, where these things were leading. I'm talking about the early stages of when YouTube first got started. This was a social enigma and anomaly that nobody knew what it was or where it was going. All they knew is there was a group of people that were seeing that the book of lies that people were being sold about social engineering, get the wife, the kids, the house, the white picket fence, and everything's going to be all right. It's much like a Disney fairy tale being told and propagated and sold to people in society. Now, we attribute that falsity and that fairy tale lifestyle to Disney. Why? Because Disney has propagated that through the decades. Now, can anybody out there show me or tell me or give me solid evidence this person right here at this point in time came up, created the quote-unquote manosphere, men's rights movement, men going their own way? Is there a single solitary person like Pythagoras who came up with Pythagoras' theorem in mathematics? Is there anybody out there that can show me this specific person at this specific time created the movement we are now seeing in common everyday society?
Right.
Trust me, I've looked. I haven't found it. Now, telling people you can't do this, you're supposed to go your own way, but you're supposed to do it my way. How is me going my own way going to occur if I'm following your direction? It's hypocrisy at its finest. So we can't tell people who you can and can't talk to. You can't tell people who they can and can't learn from. We have something we can learn from everybody regardless of their walk of life. Because those of us that are here now as the voices within this community, we have all learned from different people at different points in times that have made us who we are and helped us learn to become the people that have become the pillars within the community. I was well on my own way of following this lifestyle long before Pop was even around. I remember reading Jordan Peterson's doctoral dissertation long before any of this stuff was even muttered in public places. I was reading dissertations going all the way back to 2001, 2002, 2003, reading and discussing how, where, when, and why this stuff was all occurring and how it's going to snowball in society and how it needs to be checked and monitored, or it's going to get out of control with the hypergamous nature of women. Or the thing is, yeah, women are hypergamous. You know what? Men are too, but for different reasons. And calling out a woman for being hypergamous and monkey branching from guy to guy to guy, and her sleeping around is bad, but guys should go out there and just do anything with slot B, slot C, whatever they can stick their peg D inside of. That's okay? Really? How about you people in our community start living by the words they're preaching and focus more on improving who they are themselves and be examples instead of telling other people how to live. That's why it's called men going their own way. Because it's men doing their own thing, going their own way. You live a happy lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle, a peaceful lifestyle. You do what works for you, not anybody else. And if you're seeing people telling you and hounding you, bullying you, and telling you how to live, what you're supposed to do, those are people that need to work on themselves and who they are, because they're obviously not happy with who they are. And what they're trying to do is influence people just to help themselves deal with themselves and what they are doing. I do my own thing. I go my own places. I do what I want. I live my life for me, because no one has to answer for what I do, only me. So, I understand, yeah, there's a lot of people. A lot of people have a lot of great points. Do I agree with everybody out there? No. You guys have been around me for quite a while. You know my perspective on things. And you guys all know that I don't give a... I can't even think of... I don't even care what anybody else thinks. I'm going to do what I want. It doesn't bother me. And as soon as someone tries to tell me what to do, you guys know I just tune them out completely. I don't even listen to a word they have to say. So, am I missing something? Is there something wrong with me living my own life, going by the facts, logic, and reason that I can back up by research I can look up and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt with science? Am I missing something? I'll throw that out to the rest of the panel. Whoever, Ryan, you want to pick somebody else to chime in on that, or anybody got a comment?
Whoever wants to jump in.
I'll be honest, that probably deserves a thug life right there. Too bad you don't have that particular soundboard item.
Just wait.
You think?
I stand corrected.
Now, listen, I am watching the comments. I do see what you guys are saying in here. Am I telling you to wrench a bunch of women? No, I'm not telling you how to go your own way. You see? See what I'm doing there? Am I telling you to support certain communities? No, I'm not, and I wouldn't advocate for it. But I'm also not going to tell you how to live your life. You see, when you tell men to go their own way, but then want them to drink your flavor of Kool-Aid, that's where it becomes not so much going their own way, but going your way. And that's not what going your own way is. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But last I checked, a man going his own way and making his own decisions on what to do with his own life had nothing to do with anyone's opinion but that man's, right? Am I going to let women mod my channel? Let's see. No, I'm not. Am I going to let people like Sunflowers on my channel? That's one I'll name because I can't stand that I see that raging feminist constantly in the manosphere, okay? Because she's not trying to learn. She's not trying to grow. She's just trying to bicker and argue and get attention and validation, all right? I'm not talking about the people that just do it just to do it to get the attention, okay? I'm talking specifically about somebody that maybe realizes Camp Crazy was trying to watch the language tonight, but you know what I'm about to say, okay? And they want to come over to side rational and logical. Are you going to tell them they can't because at one point they made mistakes over here and they were voting with a D? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Now, again, when I look at the red pill community, I don't just look at the manosphere. I don't just look at the dating and the MGTOW. I see the bigger picture. I see the Alex Jones conspiracy nuts wrapped into the red pill, okay? I see a lot more to red pill than just dating and relationships, which I think is where some communities or some people in this community get narrow-sighted and they've got the tunnel vision on women evil, women bad, and they're not seeing the bigger picture. All right. And then anybody that has a differing opinion from them might be also evil and bad. And you know what? There's a lot of people I don't agree with. There's a lot of watching language people I just don't like. Okay? Am I going to have those people on my show? No, I'm not. Am I going to advocate that you do it? No, I'm not. Am I going to tell you that you shouldn't allow people to be curious about maybe coming away from their BS and waking up and realizing that the world that they were told was true was all a lie? No, I'm not going to tell you to tell those people they can't come over here. Because quite frankly, they deserve a shot, right? Now, there's some people, I've seen the comments, I've seen some of the extreme examples you get to, and that's fine. Those extreme examples you're pointing out, there's only one solution for some of those, and that's being taken out back like old Yeller. Okay? You following me? I don't need to say what you're saying in the chat there. You're going to follow what I'm saying. There's no cure for certain people. I'm not telling you to let them in. Okay? The only place they deserve is, again, out back. Maybe dig a hole for them, right? Or a wood chipper, as Jimmy would put it. There's no cure for that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the radicals. I'm talking about the people that genuinely, realize, hey, I may be screwing up by believing this crap over here, and I want to see what this side's about. And then, how do I do this out language? I don't know. I'll try. A lot of people I've seen lately push those people out. And I'm not talking about people that have openly admitted to doing some really nasty things in chats. We all know who I'm talking about. I don't need to get into the beef. I told you I'm not doing that. Okay, we're not doing that here. All right, I stay under Pop's guidelines. We don't do that. I am not advocating for those people either. But I'm telling you, when we have a guest on our show who is being polite, who is being respectful, who is carrying on a conversation, and some of you go out of your way to attack him, when this individual did nothing to any of you, did no harm to anyone in this community, and you just attack him because he has different beliefs than you. That's where I think you're forming a cult, not a community. And I don't like cults. I don't like Kool-Aid drinkers. I don't like people that massively dispose of people with their own radical ideologies. You know what I mean? I don't like cults. Anyway, panel, back to you.
I don't know if any of us know how to follow that up.
Yeah.
Well, I will. I'll openly challenge, and take the reins and take the conversation in awkward places. I've had a multitude of conversations with a multitude of people from multiple backgrounds that have seen things I've never seen, and there are many of others out there that have seen things I may never see in my life. You know, come to think of it, even some of the guys that are on these panels regularly, there are a lot of people that are on different shows from different backgrounds to where they have seen things that I haven't seen, nor will I ever see. But can I learn from other people? Yes. Can I learn from other people from different backgrounds? Yes. Can I learn from people that come from a different demographic and a different culture? Yes. Am I a better person for learning those things? I would venture to guess that I am, because not only am I able to relate to people from multiple walks of life and multiple backgrounds and multiple cultures, which show me aspects of life that someone learned different than me, or am I supposed to stay in my own lane, do my own thing, stick with my community where I was born, where I was raised, around the people I've grown up with my entire life, and just learn to live and stay in that lane of life? I don't think so. I've always been a risk taker. I've worked for some pretty big corporations. I've worked for some pretty cool places. I've been able to do things, and I've been able to work my way into professional circles around some very intelligent individuals that have taught me a number of different things. But I'm 100% me. I may take 1% to 2% or 5% or 10% of every little person I've ever talked to, and that's impacted me. That's changed me. That's changed the way that I've learned. It's changed what I have learned. And as I've gotten older, I don't think I've gotten wiser, because I've remained having open eyes and an open mind and open ears, willing to talk with people who are willing to challenge the way I think. But I've also been privileged to walk around in circles of some pretty intelligent people that have shown me that all I know is that I know nothing. And as soon as I think I know something, I'm out there learning something else that proves what I thought I knew I was wrong on. And I'm refining who I am as a person. And that should be something that not only I strive for, but I would advocate for others to learn for themselves, to think for themselves, to remain humble, and to look at life in a way that they never expected. Over the past 5 years, I have helped and or mentored younger men in life-altering and life-changing situations. I've passed on words of wisdom, pearls of wisdom to some younger men, and they've actually, said that they knew what I was talking about. They completely understood it, and here it is 3 to 5 years later. They're like, "Dude, how did you know this was how this is going to work out?" Because I've been there, I've done that. I'm literally watching you race past all the red flags and ignoring them. All I'm saying is, I warned you this was going to happen. Yeah, you made a mistake. You called me and said you screwed up, and you're now back asking for help. I didn't turn you away because you didn't listen to me the first time. I learned something. You learned something from me as I learned something from someone 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Having an open mind and an open perspective to learn from other people will enrich your life far greater than you will ever expect. And that is something that I think all of us need to learn, is to remain humble, remain open-minded, remain inquisitive. Yeah, you can still be that little 4-year-old kid that's wearing the Batman or the Superman t-shirt, giving the middle finger to the world. I'll advocate for you to do that. But you remember what you were like when you were 4 years old? Your mom told you, you can't jump off the deck, you can't jump off the roof, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You did it, right? You didn't get hurt the first time or the 10th time, but you know what? Eventually you did get hurt doing it. But you know what? Everybody's been beaten down by society to fit into a mold and to fit what society thinks they know what's best for you. Nah. Find out what works best for you. Remain humble. Remain open-minded. Remain that 4-year-old kid giving the world the finger, but still keep learning. None of us know everything, and none of us will ever know anything. Any of you guys out there want to chime in on anything I just said?
I actually do have a follow-up to that. A couple of them that I picked up, sadly enough, from sci-fi novels and movies. Years ago, when I was still reading the Star Trek novels before they all went to garbage, there's a bit of philosophy I picked up that I think kind of fits with what you were saying there, Crusader. The best student ensures his teacher is learning.
Mm-hmm.
Because none of us know everything. None of us ever will know everything until we make that final jump.
Right.
And quite frankly, I'm glad for that. Every day I learn something new, either about people I'm around or about things I work with or whatever. And to what you were saying earlier, where I know about the red pill, MGTOW spaces and whatnot, when I'm talking to people, I don't use those terminologies because they have very negative context to them. I tell folks that I listen to or stream with single guy channels. Because when you get down to it, that's kind of the niche that we've fallen into broadly. But what you were saying earlier about not everyone's going to agree, you've seen Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. What was the last thing Obi-Wan said before he took Anakin's arms and legs?
Just go ahead and quote it. I don't like being put on the spot there.
Only a Sith believes in absolutes.
Deals in absolutes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Now, here's something I want to actually just chime in on. Okay. I want to let you guys know. I am monitoring the chats. You're making some points, but I want to ask you: do you remember the last time any of you in the chats? I actually want you to respond. You're talking to a woman, or maybe it's online, maybe it's a social media post, and a woman pipes in and says, "A real man blank." How do you feel about that, chat? I actually want the answer. I'm going to sit here and wait for a second because I have a point to make here. A real man blank, okay? How do you feel about that? When a woman says it, especially, how do you feel when a woman tells you a real man does this, acts this way, pays for this date, buys me expensive dinner, proposes to me because that's what's supposed to happen, marriage. A real man does blank. Just fill in the blank. Pick one. I'm going to check the chat. We're going to get back to my point. I'm going to make a point here. You'll see where I'm going in a second. I think Tommy already knows the point I'm making.
Well, I want to make a statement on that.
Do it.
Anytime anybody puts an absolute statement out like that, a real man, yet we have transgender male feminine athletes causing concussions in volleyball games played by girls. What is a real man? That's not a real man. That's a real fucking freak. I'm sorry. I just dropped an F-bomb. We were supposed to keep it clean.
I'm going to jump in again. It's good. It's good. Here we go. I want to point this out. Okay? There's certain members of the community in the chat that are using the chat. You can see them. So I'm going to point this out. I actually want to expose this. I want this to be out in the open so we can see it. All right? Thumper the sweaty fat guy. What the hell does she know? That's what I think. Okay? We got another one. A real man would... Me walks away from that woman, cuts all communication from her. Okay? A real man leaves the goddamn bacon. When a woman says a real man, first thing I ask, how old you are and how long did you live as a man? Now there's plenty more here, but I'm gonna scroll up. Okay? Let's go back. This isn't my normal style, but I am gonna do it. I think it needs to be done. What's this look like to you? Just read that on the screen right now. What does that look like to you? You tell me. And then, you know what women do? when they want to get a point across and they can't win the argument on their own, they call in reinforcements. I see that in the chat too. Yeah, bring Hammerhand over. I don't do beef, but we can have this discussion. We can. But I think what you're doing right here is telling men how to behave like men, which isn't very masculine. By the way, I need to point that out. You saw the chat. A real man would walk away. And what are you telling men to do here? To follow what you said? That's where I take issue. That's the problem right there. A man is going to choose his own path, not to be dictated what his path should be.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, case in point, going back to, there's a lot of people within the manosphere, red pill community, things like that. A lot of guys look at Jordan Peterson as kind of a pillar of this community. How many people out there have actually gone out, looked for, and found his doctoral dissertation? How many people have read his dissertation? If you want to tout a lot of things that he says, if you want to regurgitate a lot of the talking points he has used, okay, great. I don't have a problem with that. However, what I will say to do is, if you are going to make a man like him a semi-pseudo pillar of a community like this because of the things that he has said, I would strongly advocate to go back and to look at his previous work. I would strongly advocate going and educating oneself and learning the foundations that have actually led him to make those comments and those statements. His dissertation is actually absolutely amazing to read. And I would tell anybody to go out and to learn and to read from it, because he had some very groundbreaking research that he wrote when he was working on his PhD. And I'm not going to tell anybody what he said, but what I'm going to say is he was somebody that actually broke new ground in research. And that has led him to where he is today. Jordan Peterson has done some amazing things in his previous years in his life. But what he's going to do, one of the things in his book, he said, clean your damn room, make your bed, take responsibility for who you are. You do your thing, I'm going to do my thing. It's not his responsibility what his son or his wife or his parents do, or his nieces or nephews, no, he's responsible for what he says and what he does. And he is willing to admit when he makes a mistake.
Also, want to give it
justify
quick. Want to give a quick shout out. Dear Sarge is watching us over on Rumble, so thank you so much, sir.
What's up, Sarge?
Back over to you, Crusaders. Sorry about that, but I want to shout him out.
There are a lot of people who want to hold Jordan Peterson or Andrew Tate, or there are different people within the community, and they've come to prominence socially within the red pill kind of manosphere community, but we can all pick and choose one person that we follow, that we like what they say, but we can all look at everything that they've said and done and say, I agree with Jordan Peterson on ABC, but XYZ I don't agree with him on. But we can still agree that these are milestones and these are great points in life to strive and to work towards. Those are things that we can agree on. Do we focus on the things that we get wrong? You know what? We're all human. We all make mistakes.
Yes.
If we weren't human, if we didn't make, we wouldn't make mistakes, we wouldn't be human. If we didn't make mistakes, we wouldn't be human, dude. Carry on. Go on.
No, I'm just saying. Another thing I want to point out, Rusty, it just seems like you tonight. I don't know what it is. You've been on this tirade since it wasn't communication, the after party. It was an attack, and everybody was here to witness it. You came in after everybody had a decent conversation. You came in and had your tirade about we won't accept a certain member that was on my panel last week because he doesn't believe what you believe. You know what else women do as a shaming tactic is repeat things over and over, like who hurt you? So I just want to point out that that's the second time you used that. You know what a man does? He chooses his own course, right? And if that is working for somebody else, then that is a man's choice. If he chooses to work for himself, that's also his choice. I've done both many times in my life, sir. So I've gone back and forth on that, and that's my choice, okay? And I'm doing it for, bottom line, the money, so I can have the independence, okay? And that's my choice. But see, that's another one of those typical attack techniques. Now, you can do this all night. You're welcome to come on the panel. I'm sure you're a member of the Gilded community. I posted the link over there. But if we're going to have a discussion, it may as well be constructive versus, once again, dictating how things are going to be to men in this community. Because you're proving my point here. Everything you've said tonight has proven my point.
So the logical fallacy that would be set up by a woman saying a real man does this is the no true Scotsman fallacy. And I like people to have a basis in critical thinking skills, you know. So classically, the no true Scotsman fallacy, somebody says, you know, every Scotsman likes haggis. And somebody says, well, my uncle likes, he doesn't like haggis, but he's from Scotland. And then they say, well, your uncle isn't a real Scotsman then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you could apply that to various different situations. When a woman's saying, you're not a man unless you do this, it is the no true Scotsman fallacy.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anybody else want to jump in on the panel? Outlaw, I definitely want to hear from you if you have anything to contribute.
Well, I've been slowly watching this back and forth unfold. Now, I've been in this community for only 2 years, so this is how I've come to understand all this. Okay. Now, people can agree with me if they want to. People don't have to agree with me, but this is how I see it. MGTOW is for normal men who have been done wrong by women. That is what MGTOW is for. Red pill is for the understanding that everything is fucked up. The part about women and wrenches is, as far as what I control on my channel and on Rumble and on, you know, any other platform, I don't wrench them. And I don't wrench, I don't give pedos a voice. I don't give people a voice that I personally disagree with. Now, that's just for my channel, right? And what I am trying to do on this MGTOW channel, that, you know, that is how I've come to understand this. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but as far as my channel goes, the only way that I can control it is I don't allow certain people on the platform, and I don't wrench them, because my channel is set up for men, normal men who have been out here done wrong by women. If there is a person out here that's been, you know, in a gay relationship or a lesbian, you know, I've never seen one of those people come to MGTOW like, hey, I need help. I've never seen it personally. Maybe they have. I've never seen it. But as far as I have understood all this, it is to help men who have been done wrong by women, and to give men who have been broken a platform to speak that doesn't give anybody else power over them to speak, right? Like a women with wrenches in the chats, or letting them on panel and speak over the men who have to get their grievances out for everybody to understand their point of view. That is my part of it. That's what I control on my channel, right? So if people don't agree with that, or if people, you know, feel free to tell me. I'm all ears.
Yeah. And you know, some of these comments, I'm sorry. Some of these comments are absolutely just absurd. I don't know anybody in this community that does, Rusty. I have no idea who in this community does. Okay. And if they do, they'll end up excommunicated from this community. Okay. I don't even know where you get you go to the extremes to make your point, but that's not who you attacked. You attacked a normal, reasonable, rational individual last week. So these extremes are kind of irrelevant. Again, I think I've made my point clear. And you don't have to agree with me, and that's great because it's part of going your own way, right? You don't have to agree with anything I say. If you don't like it, as Jimmy will sometimes say, you can unsubscribe because I don't care, okay? I'm cleaning up the language, but I'm still making the point. It's not our job to dictate to these men how to think. It's simply our job to be there for these men when they need a place to go. But by telling, and I'm not referring to the extreme examples you keep giving because that's just fucking crazyville. Sorry, there's the first time I dropped the F-bomb. Trying not to, but it's nonsense what you're trying to do there. I'm not talking about your extremes. I'm not talking about that, okay? Don't know anybody that supports that here. Can't think of one. Can you? Oh, wait, I can think of two. Not going to say their channel names here. Don't need to. If you want to in the chat, you're more than welcome to. I'm sure you will. I don't associate with them. I have no interest in their stuff. Okay? They exposed who they are, and that's it. You don't have to support them at that point. I certainly don't. I never supported them prior to that either. But that's my decision. Do I think they should be in this community? Let me think. Again, I've said there's only one cure for that type of individual, and it's a wood chipper or out back. Okay, maybe two solutions. Maybe out back in the wood chipper. There. But no, your extreme examples are just, what are you trying to point out here? I can't think of any rational person in this community that would even suggest or entertain that idea. That's just
all right, Randall, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
You and I have known and have spoken regularly for comfortably a year and a half, coming on 2 years, closely, maybe 2 years. And how many times have you and I agreed on the same thing?
Oh, God. I mean, as much as I like you, and I like having you on the show.
Put a percentage on it.
I don't know, like
30%?
Maybe 10.
Yeah,
and it's not that you don't have great ideas. It's just that they're not, I don't know. Like, I think about them and then I put them over in the, that's a good idea box.
Right. So,
yeah.
You and any topic you and I have discussed, we've discussed a lot of different things, and you and I have maybe agreed on maybe 10 to 20%, if that. But you know what? We still find a common ground. We still find something that we can agree on and we can work towards. Agent of Doubt, you've been on the panel a couple of times. We've had some pretty in-depth conversations. You know that you and I, we have fairly similar backgrounds in research. You and I also have very different views on a multitude of things.
Sure.
But we can hold a civil conversation. We can agree to disagree. But the thing is, we both learn from each other because we have two opposing views on many different topics. Or am I wrong?
Agent of Doubt, before you answer that question, check your mic levels. Also, Craven, no, I don't think there is. There never will be. There's no perfect person, let alone the perfect MGTOW red pill. But anyway, let's get to Agent of Doubt and his answer.
There's something wrong with my mic level?
It is low.
You're kind of quiet.
It sounds like it's
really
very
low.
distant.
Oh, well, that's so I can tell Ryan, fuck you! No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Nate's right. It's possible for two people to look at the exact same evidence and come to two completely different conclusions. It's absolutely possible. It happens all the time,
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess you would say the adult or mature thing would be being able to have two different perspectives of the same thing, but still being open-minded enough and humble enough to be willing to learn to view things from a different perspective. Or am I wrong on that?
It would be really strange for someone to be a fan of freedom and then be immediately triggered every time they came across somebody with a different viewpoint. You're free to have these other viewpoints, except for in my presence, I like to hear only the shit that I espouse.
Yeah.
It's a
Just a little
conundrum
bit
wrapped in
absurd.
an enigma.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that, look into it a little more.
All right. Now, here's the thing. I mean, he's at least he's making an effort to make a conversation here. Yeah, you are welcome on the show. We just have to make sure, once again, you don't have an echo and that you are fine with audio quality, video quality, all of that, or an avatar at the bare minimum. He's addressing Tom here, but he says, do girls have any business in the Boy Scouts? Do boys have any business in the Girl Scouts? Let's just reverse the question.
I'm answering
Okay.
this.
Well, you answered on the stream. You don't have to type. You're right here.
No,
Here, I'm going to full screen you. That way.
because I want him to be able to read it and you to be able to post it.
All right. Well, I'll do both. We'll just sit here and watch you type. But yeah, no, seriously. Go ahead, Crusader.
Oh, well, I just, Hammerhand, thank you for being in the chat. I see you here. And yeah, this is an interesting conversation. And unfortunately, this is the uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had because there are individuals who are very closed-minded who are telling other people that men going their own way can only go their way. If I'm going to advocate for men to learn and to go their own way, what their way is far different than mine. And I'm telling men to think for themselves, to be open-minded, and to learn from those around them. I'm also telling men to be wary of those who tell them what to do, and telling them this is a commandment, a way of life. I will never tell another man to do anything specifically. I will just warn him of pitfalls. And it is up to that man to make the choices and make the decisions that lead him down his pathway. It is not my place to rescue, nor is it my place to rescue anybody. I am going my own way on my own journey.
Absolutely. Tom has posted the answer in there.
Did you see
no.
that? Do you want me to read it?
You can read it. Sure. Yeah.
All right. Here's my answer. The Boy Scouts are a group that was infiltrated by pedophiles. But so was all religious orders. We have the Girl Scouts. Why do all things need to be combined? We don't need to combine everything, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be a separation of the sexes, and there are two sexes, male and female.
This is exactly my issue. Then I want to get over to Agent of Doubt. You guys are taking this to extremes. Exactly what Migtal Mando said earlier. It's that phrase that Obi-Wan said, only a Sith deals in absolutes. And that's exactly what I'm seeing in the Manosphere lately. I never have suggested you allow women come flooding in and taking over this space. I have not condoned that. But when you post the extremes like that, it tells me that you're not even considering your own brothers that came from different backgrounds. For example, on our panel tonight, I'm going to have him in here right after I finish the statement. He comes from a different political belief than me. However, I can say without getting too personal about his story, he's had a rough go of it with women, and it piqued his curiosity. He came over here, and he's on the panel tonight. And the thanks he gets from his own community for coming over here is to be attacked in an after party by one of his own, apparently allies, right? I think it's a disservice. You have somebody that wants to come to this community that you then ostracize for wanting to be a part of it. So who is it uncomfortable for? Hammerhand. That is the question. Is it uncomfortable for you? Probably not. I know you're a strong believer of gatekeeping. But is it uncomfortable for the guy that comes to this community that wants our help, and because he may have been a Democrat in the past, then suddenly he's not allowed in the exclusive club that was never supposed to be exclusive to begin with? Let me ask you that. That's my concern, is that you're ostracizing your own brothers by doing that, especially when they're coming to you to hopefully be able to discuss things in a logical fashion. But we're not doing that. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of guys in this space saying, well, because you believe this, or because you came from this, because you had a background in this, and you don't agree with it, I agree with it. You're not allowed in the exclusive club. See what I'm saying? Just, it doesn't seem right. Because all of us, including Hammer, I know you had a background where, you know, at one point we could say you were blue pill. Same here. Same with Pop. Same with pretty much everybody in this community. So all of us at one point got here through our mistakes, right? And if somebody comes to us and we ostracize them, we're giving them nowhere to go. And that's not exactly keeping men on that board, right? If anything, it's backing them into a corner and maybe putting them to the point where they get erased from that board. You follow me? I have a real problem with that. I really do. I'm not going to fucking play this game with these extremes. No, we don't support pedos. That's not, no rational man in this space is suggesting that. No, we're not suggesting modding women on the platform. But I am telling you, ostracizing men that want to be a part of this community, may have an interest in this community, simply because their politics didn't align with yours, is a disservice. And back to you, panel.
So I do agree that there are parts of the Boy Scouts that Girl Scouts should be able to participate in. However, I do feel, coming from, you know, university classes where I'm seeing 90% women all over the place, that men need a place specifically for men to be nurtured, and that's one of them, right? So for the most part, I like that they're separate entities. I wish that there was a governing body above both that could like help them trade things, because I think that Girl Scouts could benefit from using Boy Scout camps, you know, like 1 week out of the summer, like let them sign up for it and go, because some of them want to go. And if there's something that the Boy Scouts have, like a chance to get a scholarship, you know, and the Girl Scouts don't have as good as scholarships, they should be able to apply for that. And I think the Boy Scouts...
Stand by. This one I have to address right now.
Okay.
No, we are not talking about that. We are not.
Absolutely not.
I don't know where you guys got that from this.
That was Rusty Rivers.
But that is not what we're discussing here. I am in no way, shape, or form advocating that. And that's the bottom fucking goddamn line. And you better fucking believe I have a problem with the way you're twisting and manipulating this to your radical ideologies. Okay? I will call you on that right now. What we're talking about is backing your own men, the men you say you are trying to help, into a corner where they end up committing suicide because you ostracize them because they come from different political backgrounds than you. I will not support or condone pedophilia or sexual perversion. Let's not mistake that. That's number one. What I'm seeing is a lot of you men think you have the fucking gall and audacity to come into this group. Whether you've been here 10 years or not, I don't give a fuck, 20 years. What I do give a fuck about is how you're keeping men out of here with your bullshit gatekeeping, to where you say you're trying to keep men alive, you're trying to help men, you're trying to better men. How are you doing that when you're telling them they can't be part of your club because they didn't go your way, not their own way, your way? Because let's just get to the meat and potatoes of this. A lot of men in this space, at least on certain sides of things, are now saying you have to do it my way or not at all. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. I have a real fucking problem with that. It's not about this. This is some bullshit that I don't approve of. Okay? Let's get that out of the way.
So if I can return us back to levity and having a good show, I'm just going to say, as far as mixing between the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, I think Boy Scouts should be able to sell cookies, the same fucking cookies that the Girl Scouts sell, because nobody likes that bullshit fucking popcorn. It's stale ass bullshit. Nobody fucking wants that shit. And I think Boy Scouts should be able to buy from the same company and have it labeled Boy Scouts and fucking sell me some fucking Thin Mints. Listen to Fat Man when he's talking. I'm not buying fucking popcorn from a fucking Boy Scout. Let the Boy Scouts sell fucking cookies.
All right. Rusty, or excuse me, Hammer, to answer your question, it was an after party last week. And I wish, I don't record after parties. We considered doing that for exclusive member content, which we didn't. We all were having a pretty adult conversation. And one of the members on our panel here is a Democrat. Oh, the boogeyman. And Rusty Rivers took it upon himself to say, I'm basically, I don't know, I'm going to paraphrase. Maybe somebody else remembers the exact quote. But basically, I'm the guard dog for Chronic and Hammer and Brandon Trueblood and all of them. And we do not let Democrats in our spaces and all of that. Okay. No, do I approve of blue-haired, radical, leftist, feminist, Kuwanta no, I don't. But who I'm referring to, I know on our panel was done dirty by a woman and started watching this show and started coming on this show because they found merit in some of our talking points. But then one of our own brothers decided to take it upon himself to attack him just for showing up here. That's where this episode's coming from, okay? And it's not just him. I've seen others. But it is stemming from that kind of extreme hatred of something that doesn't align with his beliefs versus mentoring somebody that may want to open and broaden their horizons and see the world for what it really fucking is, okay? That's my answer to that.
I just also want to say, when I was getting my bachelor's degree, I won a scholarship from the NAACP. I wrote an essay. I turned it in. They knew I was a white boy, and they still gave me the scholarship.
That's awesome.
A lot of people. It was like $100, but they didn't discriminate. And so I think there's a lot of places where we don't need to be discriminating against other people if they're, supporting our cause, and writing essays for scholarships that are in support, and you can see that that's a person that needs, give them that thing that they need. And I feel like Boy Scout camps are another example of that, when the Boy Scouts go home and there's a spare weekend there, they can give it to the Girl Scouts. Same opportunity.
I absolutely see no problem in sharing the use of common knowledge and skills and teaching young girls how to tie knots, camping things. There's nothing wrong with that. I see no problem with that. I see no problem with teaching young men how to do some of the other things in those camps as well. But should they integrate these camps? I think that would be a great disservice not to have an integrated week or couple of days on occasion, because there have been many occasions where you see men that have grown up that are so socially awkward that they can't hold a conversation with a woman. Look at the way our society has devolved over the past 100 years. Look at the way how guys won't talk to girls, girls won't talk to guys. Everybody has this, unspoken expectation of this, that, and the other thing. And if you look at anyone under the age of 5, how boys and girls will play together. There are moments where children still have that innocence. They will play with anybody. They will talk to anybody. But because of social and cultural standards and expectations, they deviate so far apart. And turning around and saying one person is the enemy, when you start doing things like that and you start saying, this is wrong, you can point where things are wrong. If you're actually doing deviant behavior, call it out. If you see people doing things and going to an extreme left, extreme right, where you see someone that is actually harming the society you live in, call it out. Just because I believe in liberty, I want to tell people to do what works for them. Does that mean that I condone people infringing on other people? No, it's not. Now, just because I believe in liberty, does that mean that I condone those acts? No, I don't. I don't know how many times I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. But if you want to start telling me that because I believe in people having the liberty to do what works for them and to live their own life and not infringe on others, You better be very damn careful when you start to put words in my mouth. Because when people start doing that, they do not like the consequences. Because when you start putting words in my mouth, there's plenty of people out there that know my background, and you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am unhappy that you've chosen to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just a fair warning.
Yeah, and we're going to go back and forth. I've asked you if you want to come on the show. You can be on the show, but I'll address this as well. As far as I'm concerned, the only rules are not to be a dick to your brothers. That's pretty much it. Just don't be a dick. Don't ostracize people that actually share some interest in being a part of this community. Don't be a dick to them. I think that's a pretty basic rule, right? Don't attack, don't ostracize, don't try to push out men that need a space to go to, that actually want to be here. Maybe that would be a good rule. Regardless of whether it's done in private or public, it's called integrity. It's called doing the right thing, whether or not anybody's watching, right? So maybe not be a dick to people that are trying to be here genuinely because they want to be a part of this community, okay? And I'm not talking about the extreme bullshit examples we've been given all night. All right. We have to draw a line, Rhino. No women. Okay, we'll draw a line. On your channel, no women. On anybody else's channel in this community that doesn't want women, no women. On my channel, no women. That's fine. Well, we've had Soldier Girls, so maybe I violated that. And we have Calliope, so maybe I violated that too. Ah, shit, I'm a terrible human being. Should take myself out of this community right now. Oh, Pop. Been doing this for 12 fucking years. He's had women on the show. Should we excommunicate him from the red pill too? Your points aren't really adding up, bud. Just saying.
Well, maybe he didn't come from a womb. Maybe like a bird shit on a rock and the sun hatched him.
Okay.
You know? Back to levity, guys.
Yes.
Don't be a dick is actually called Wheaton's rule online. Don't be an asshole. Don't be a dick. And Will Wheaton is like a card-carrying lefty. So I just wanted to point out that Rhino was quoting him. And also, as the token lefty, I'm supposed to see COVID everywhere and be afraid. And I just want to point out that MGTOW Mando in the background chat, he said that he loves Boy Scout popcorn. And I think he needs to take a COVID test because maybe his taste buds are failing him.
Well, hang on, Agent Adele. I was actually about to reference that on you. Have you never had Boy Scout caramel corn with peanuts and almonds in it?
With peanuts and almonds, huh?
Jesus Christ, Mando.
All right.
Have you never had that?
Did it have some corn in it?
No. Answer that question. Have you never actually tried that? Because it actually used to be a really good thing to get. And when I can find it here in my hometown, it's still reasonably good, and it's not stale. I don't know what the deal is where you're at, but at the Boy Scout popcorn where I'm at, it generally isn't stale. So
I'll answer this question really quick, too, just to get off the top of popcorn, since it's almost like waffling. And we don't have the waffle chief here, so better stick to staying on the thin and narrow path here. What are your opinions on the two men who are bringing women, trannies, and homosexuals in the spot? You know, we've already cussed. I don't even care anymore. Again, I've never supported their channels. I don't watch their channels. I don't know enough about them to know. I do know that there was a stream where Polska Bob passed out during a stream, and a certain individual said something about meeting up with two 16-year-old women or men, who knows, children, bottom line, and I don't support it. Did that answer your question? I don't support them. I don't support their content. I don't think they belong in the group. But I'm not talking about them. That wasn't the point of this video tonight. But we can address it because it is a hot topic lately. I don't support them. No, never will. Okay? I'm just as pissed about it as you, or pissed about it as you are. And as a matter of fact, I've been on True Blood's show in the past and I've addressed that. So that's a non-issue. Well, this is an issue. But as far as this channel supporting that, no. Nobody here supports that bullshit. Let's see. See if there's any other comments that popped up. Yeah, no, you're right. Pop is not a monk or a MGTOW. Neither am I. Never claimed to be. But what I am trying to say to you is in the red pill manosphere MGTOW space, we all kind of, for lack of better terms, cross the streams occasionally. Yeah? Okay? There's monks on my show. I'm on MGTOW channels. We cross all the time. We have similar ideologies. We don't all think alike. But my biggest thing is when you say a man going their own way, why is it some of the men in this space want them to drink their flavor of Kool-Aid? That's where my issue lies. Why is it not as simple as men going their own way? Their own way. Not, if you don't go my way, you're not really MGTOW. I've always found that a little interesting, right? I think it's up to that individual man to make his decision on what going his own, I mean, it's in the phrase, his own, ownership, himself, him, he, that is his choice, right? To make, not yours, not Crusaders, not, I'm not calling anybody out to be a dick, but not Rusties, not Hammers, not Toms, not, just looking at the chat now, not Ghost Pills, not Agent of Doubt. It's nobody's decision on how a man goes his own way. That's his choice. I think that's pretty cut and dry, and I don't know where that's getting confused.
Well, maybe they see.
Well, no, I think a lot of confusion is coming from what I've referred to in the past as the pain mind. There's a lot of people who are hurting. And when someone's hurting, they cannot see past the source of their pain. They cannot see, well, think back to the last time you were injured in some way, shape, or form. Could you see past the next 5 minutes of dealing with whatever caused that? Or were you able to automatically turn that off in your head and go down to the next part to get past that?
Wait.
Most people cannot.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, you mean like the last time I had gout?
Same here.
I was actually more thinking emotional pain, but physical works too.
Okay.
Okay, I got you. I was thinking about when I rolled my ankle skateboarding. That pretty much took over my thought process for a while. But anyway, Mando, what were you saying?
But okay, better example. You've had a dog.
Yes, have.
You've had dogs quite a few times over the years.
My whole life.
Correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sure you've had some of them that you loved them, but when it was time for them to go, you were ready to let them go and you moved on quickly. And then there were others that you had that when they went, you were not ready for it. And it hurt you
still
at a deep
fucking
emotional
not,
level
man.
for some time.
Yeah, it still does.
Is that fair? Okay.
That's fair. It's fair.
Kind of the same thing with this community from what I've observed. A lot of us have been foobarred by ladies to the point where our brains are constantly reverting back to that last one that hurt us. And we cannot break free of that.
Wouldn't you call that red pill rage?
Not always, because the red pill rage is when you're so angry about it that you cannot accept anything that's going on. When I say the pain mind, going to the relationship thing, since you opened that door, if I decide I'm so lonely one night that I have to have some kind of physical interaction with somebody, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go out to the local country club because I think that's about the only kind of club here in my city.
Yeah.
I go out there. After getting dressed, the entire time the back of my head's going, this is stupid. You know what's going to happen. You know what always does happen. I push that to the back of my head and I go. Then I sit in the parking lot for 20 or 30 minutes, trying to amp myself up to the point of actually getting out of the car and going in. I go in, I see a lady that looks like my definition of a perfect 10. So I go and make the approach. And the little pain mind voice in the back of my head goes, "You're an idiot, don't bother, she's not going to even consider you." And by the time I get up there, I've walked right past her to the bar and ordered another Sprite ginger ale or whatever the heck it is I'm drinking that night.
Right.
Same concept here. There's a lot of guys who have been so hurt, and I'm not going to say that they're wrong for this, because everyone processes this kind of pain differently. Agent of Doubt and Crusader Nate can probably agree on this, or agree with me on this, that some people can process it and get through it super quick. Doesn't phase them long term, or doesn't immediately phase them long term. Others, like myself, we cannot get past the fact that our success rate is so bad that Japanese Zero pilots in World War II had better mission completion rates.
Shit. Fair enough.
So that is where I think a lot of this is coming from.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Jumping back into chats really quick here. Hammerhand says, well, they're calling themselves MGTOW, and that is what I gatekeep. And that's fine. They should be called out. I think, I don't know if there's anybody that doesn't know at this point. I try to stick to the no beef policy. I think I may have slightly crossed over that line tonight, but it won't be going any further tonight. So I'll leave it at this. I can't remember the other channel name. I know you're referring to Iridium Kush and his buddy. Bullets for Teeth is the other one, isn't it? Yeah, those two guys have made their bed. They can lay in it. You guys can expose them all day long. I agree with you. They've gotten what they deserve, okay? Because they're a misrepresentation of this group and what our core beliefs are. So that's fine. I agree with you on that. We're on the same page there. There were some other things you had to say, though. And I am observing the whole chat. We're going to go to a break, and then we've got Rusty in the back. We'll get him in as well. There's only one flavor. It's a philosophy as it is written. The tenets of MGTOW, yeah. But again...
Is that extraneous you in the way that he spells flavor, like a British redcoat? Fuck him. Yeah. We're American here. Don't bring that.
He can spell flavor however he wants. He can spell it however he wants.
That's
freedom of speech.
That's redcoat bullshit. We had a whole revolution over that shit.
Shut the hell up. Anyway,
put an E on it, goddammit.
You want this one? You can have this one. I'll give you this one. There you go. It's yours. Take it. Don't fall asleep while you're talking about it, though. That's all I ask.
Fuck you, Rhino.
Yeah. Gotta have some fucking humor here. This has been a serious one.
Oh, we're going to get the humor going. Trust me.
Right.
Yo, where's the gay beer comment, motherfucker? Come on.
Are you drinking the gay beer?
No.
You still supporting the gay beer? Is that a gay bear in there?
No, that's not the gay beer. There's no Bud Light in here.
What's under the koozie?
Yeah, let's see the koozie. Let's
unzip
that koozie.
Show and tell.
We've already
show and
had
tell
this
time.
discussion.
The show is stopped until we see what's in that koozie.
Oh, god damn it.
Show is stopped.
The show is stopped.
Yeah, we are done. You guys can all go about your merry way and have a great night until we see underneath that koozie. We are not doing the rest of the show.
It's one of these motherfuckers.
I thought so. Still supporting the gay beer, goddammit. Anyway,
well, my other beer isn't ready yet. So.
Get on with the fucking point. And by the way, we do not condone Tommy's decisions in this group.
Right. He can drink whatever beer he wants. Not my problem.
Yes. Fuck you all.
All right. Now, you were going to respond to what was on the screen there, yes?
What, me? Fuck no.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were just going to do.
No, I was just fucking interjecting and, stirring it up.
Asshole.
Come on. It's just like MGTOW does. I mean, Outlaw does. Sorry.
I think we need a squirrel moment because this has gotten far too serious.
Get it in here. The fat boy. Come on. Get the fat boy in here.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We didn't do this tonight. There's been far too much seriousness.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy, he's thick. Boy, that's a thick-ass boy. Damn.
Thanks, Riggs. Thank you.
Every fucking time.
And if
Yeah.
we can
When I
get
send you that
Jammo
video
Jammo
from,
in, he's just
when I
Hang
blocked
on,
busted
one
at
of
the
the-
cusp, man.
squirrel
One at
last
a time.
week.
Do
Then
we
I
have
sent
another
you a
squirrel?
video of when I blocked the squirrel last week.
Yeah, I don't have that one up.
And Rusty's
Oh,
in
darn.
backstage, I
Okay.
believe.
I see him back there. We're gonna do a break and then bring him back. We'll bring him on stage after the goddamn break. We're not monetized. I can't not cuss in a stream. I tried. I made it like maybe half an hour.
Yeah, we're fucking done.
Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter anyway. YouTube never fucking gives a shit. Look how many channels they've canceled just for telling the truth. I mean, for fuck's sake. Let's see. He goes on. MRAs bit the dust because they insisted on providing a seat for women at the table we build. That's a no-go for me. Okay. I don't disagree with you. But, I mean, what is your... Again, I think your answer was just simply like, if you're not MGTOW, you can do whatever you want. But I guess where I'm confused... And I'm not even like, arguing with you. I'm asking you, if a man is going their own way, isn't that their decision whether they platform women or not? I'm not suggesting you do. I'm not saying you do. But is it not his choice to do so, if at his own peril? But if he chooses to do so, because the 3 tenets: no marriage, no cohabitation, no new children. Got it. Okay. Outside of that, though, where's the own if we're dictating rules to men? That's color me fucked. But again, and I'm not calling you out, Hammer. It just, I really want to get to the bottom of this. Doesn't that sound a little Kool-Aid-ish when we start telling other men how to think? I think that's my issue. Not to mention the men that follow this community are very, how do I put it? Very headstrong and very independent thinking. Like that whole follow a group ideology just doesn't fucking work with these men, which is good. That's how it should be. But I'm saying when there's members of this community that are saying this is how it has to be or you're not this, is that not then creating a cult-like thought process? Just a question. Let's move on here. Again, and it wouldn't be a thing if we said that this was the Jonestown group of men, but we're talking about men going their own. I mean, own should be the capital letters, OWN, own way. In my opinion, my thought. Let's see. Gatekeep the goose. Probably should have.
Breno, may I ask a question real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I just want you don't have to full screen me because this is something I have for the entire group.
I full screened you because you're talking.
Isn't this
Go ahead.
Deal with it.
isn't our group both in the Gilded on the screen tonight and basically just in general a fairly diverse group of people, at least ideologically?
Very.
You've got people that are fairly centrist.
Uh-huh.
You've got people that are fairly hard right. You've got a few people that are fairly leftist. You've got people
like
who are
two
in all walks of life, age. And I'm willing to bet that we've also got people of different ethnicities that if they're not on the panel, they're at least following this thought process.
Okay.
Am I wrong on any of those conclusions?
I don't think so, no.
Nope.
Okay, so Agent of Doubt, I'm not calling you out, but I just want to ask you this question. Doesn't that mean that we are more diverse in our thought process than a lot of other people like to say that we are?
That's a good fucking point.
I give you points as a MGTOW for having they, them, their pronouns. You know, that in and of itself shows that you're willing to...
What?
You know,
who has they, them pronouns?
There.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You got to catch his dry fucking humor. It goes over the fucking...
Well, that's why I'm like, what? Who has those? I've never seen it.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
But
All right. Really
I
quick.
like it, Agent. I like it. It's funny.
The point I'm trying to make makes sense, though,
Yes.
because I'm willing to bet that we've probably got people, not necessarily on this particular channel, and definitely not on my channel, but in this community that are in pretty much every country on this planet that has internet access. We've probably got people in groups that if we were to meet face to face in person, we would probably not give one another the time of day.
No.
Yet we're willing to discuss things in an open, clear, concise fashion on this, because we all see problems in various ways. We just none of us can really come to a conclusion on a solution that we all can accept and agree on.
Yeah. All right. And to address this, Hammer, I think this might be the first time you're watching. So thank you. I do appreciate it, even if you came over here probably because you were summoned. But thank you either way. Not a cult, my man. Just men take. Yeah, I think that's talking. Is it supposed to be taking stock of their own lives and disabusing themselves of usury? No cohabitation, no marriage, and no additional or unwanted children. Now, I don't disagree with that being the tenets, right? It's, and again, maybe we got confused here because of current events and certain people should be shoved into a wood chipper that claim to be MGTOW. Okay, we following there? Maybe that's why we crossed into this. Is that what Rhino's talking about tonight? No, I'm talking about men in this space that use MGTOW as a way to attack other men who don't agree with them politically. That's where this stream came from. So it has nothing to do with no kids, no cohabitation, no marriage. It has to do with men that call themselves MGTOW attacking men. And I'm on Pop's side of things. And one of the big things with Pop is putting men up on that board and keeping men alive. So when I see a man attacking another man who takes interest in this community, who's been nothing but respectful and polite in carrying on adult conversations, and he's attacked for that, that's where this stream originates. And I've seen this, it's not just in my backstage, that's where it started for this episode. But I've seen it in the chats on a lot of different episodes. I'm sure you've seen it in your chats. I've seen it in my chats. I've seen it in Chronic's chats. I've seen it all over the place. I've seen it in Brandon's chats and Outlaw's chats. It's everywhere. Men just not tolerating other men that want to be in the community. And I'm not talking about, again, I have to point this out. I feel like I have to emphasize this the rest of the night. I'm not talking about the iridium cushes of the community that should be fucking excommunicated. I'm talking about normal fucking men that are like, man, I was done dirty, and you know, my ex took everything I had. I lost my home, my car, my livelihood, and I need a place to go. Why attack those men? Because they come from a different political background, and that's where the confusion obviously started tonight. But I'm trying to end that as quickly as I can. Why are men attacking other men? If we're trying to put numbers on the board and save lives, why the fuck are we doing that? Isn't that kind of childish shit? Or more importantly, and I'm not calling you out, Hammerhand, I'm calling out those that are doing it. Isn't that something that the left would fucking do? I don't like it. I don't approve of it. And maybe it doesn't matter what the fuck I like, but I would like to see brothers being brothers here and supporting men coming into the space versus ostracizing them because they happen to make the mistake of voting D. Now, I say that because I do think it's a mistake. And I know one of our panel members might disagree with me, but I think the only thing I agree with him with is when he says, let's get buffalo wings. That's it. I'm a longtime friend of his. I know him in real life. Most Democrats I can't stand. I get along with him. He says buffalo wings. I say, yeah, that's a good idea. He says anything else, I'm like, shut up. but he's still a good guy, right? I'm not going to tell him he's not welcome here just because he can't vote correctly. But the whole system's fucking broken. We know that. Left or right, it's all fucked up. And that's another thing. We know that. You fucking Trumpers out there think that's going to fucking save the world. You were sold out, dude. That dude doesn't give a fuck about you. You know, I bought that lie myself. I thought this guy was going to change things. Well, those years passed, and I don't remember any of the swamp getting drained. I do remember Trump fast-tracking the fucking vaccine, but we forget that so quickly. So why the fuck are we attacking somebody from the opposite side of the aisle when they're coming to us to be a part of the community? That's where I say gatekeeping did not build this community, because everybody that is part of this community got here because another man was willing to talk to them and keep them from walking off the fucking ledge. Bottom line. Back to you, panel. And then we're going to take a break. And fuck you, Jackal.
Well, all right. I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm probably going to say something that is probably going to ruffle some feathers, but you know what? Why stop now? I've been doing that a number of times with all you guys, and you guys know that I really don't care what anybody thinks about what I say. Yeah, informing people of what's going to happen. Yeah, how many times have all of us told a little kid, don't touch the burner, you're going to burn your hand? And they do. See, what'd you do? You burned your hand. Telling people and putting the information out there, let's say about marriage, okay, greater than 50% of all marriages end in divorce. Greater than 70% of all divorces are filed by women. It is a contract women are incentivized to break. I think we can all agree on that.
Fuck yeah.
Now, this is where I'm going to ruffle some feathers. I'm not going to go and tell dudes not to get married. Dude, it's your life. If you want to do something, go ahead and do it. If you think you're going to be different, I just want you to know these are the consequences of the actions you are about to take. What you do with that information is completely up to you. However, I will warn you that the choices you are making are not wise. But play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's on you. Don't come crying to me and look for sympathy when you went and cohabitated and married some chick because she's different, she loves me. Don't come back to me with that. Yeah. Because if you do, I'm going to look at you and say, dude, told you so. Now pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back to what the fuck you're doing. You want to find sympathy for me? You guys know exactly where you can find it.
Between shit and syphilis in the dictionary, absolutely.
Yep. Fuck them.
All right, another one here. Truth. See, we are agreeing. I don't think we've ever really disagreed on topics. Like I said, the gatekeeping thing with what I was referring to may have not been what you were referring to, but I think we're on the same page now, I hope. Progress is being made, but the pressure needs to be maintained. Lifetime alimony gone. Mandatory DNA tests are on the way. Fantastic. Affirmative action gone. No fault divorce is next. I would like to see that. I would like to see child support ripped off the table. You know what I'd like? Let's take it a little bit further. Let's get rid of WIC. Let's get rid of alimony. Let's get rid of Section 8. Let's get rid of child support. Did I miss any? Food stamps. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all of that. Let's stop making daddy government the husband. Can we agree on that? Because
let me build on that, Rhino, and let's see if I can ruffle a few more feathers out there. Okay.
Please do.
Let's see here. Let's say there are children involved in a marriage. You have the mother and the father both go through psych evals, and you have the child tested as well. You do surprise home visits, and you see who is actually taking care of the best interest of the child. Take that into consideration. Now, before you start assessing any alimony or child support or anything like that, it should be done on a year-to-year basis of the non-custodial parent. And if they end up, let's say the court system says the mother should have the child, it should always be a 50-50 custody, regardless, because children need their mothers and their fathers to develop properly in a society. It shouldn't be one way or the other. There should be a benchmark. Every case should be reevaluated every single year. Now, if put something in the books, if you file for divorce, if you are the person filing for the divorce, all marital assets should be reviewed on a 50-50 basis to start. Who brought in what assets? And at that point in time, you look at, if let's say the guy comes in and he's paid 80% of the mortgage payments, dude's paid more than half the mortgage, dude gets the house. She doesn't get the house. She's not entitled to property. She's not entitled to cars. She's not entitled to his retirement. She's not entitled to any of his assets. She's not entitled to any. The only thing she is entitled to is a minimum of 50% child custody. Now, you start at that point, you start whittling away at 10%. Is she an unfit mother? Is she psychologically abusive? Is she on head meds? 1 in 3 women are. Does she have a problem with boxed wine and Catland? Does she have other problems? That's really going to whittle down the amount of time she is going to have. Now, if the dude is out smoking weed, smoking crack, snorting nose candy, drinking heavily and excessively on a regular basis, yeah, that's going to count against him as well. If dude's out sticking his peg D in any hole he can find, yeah, you know what? Take control of yourself. Be a man. Control your urges. Be who you are. Maintain and take control of who you are and what you're doing, and take everyone wants to talk about women taking responsibility. How about some of the guys in the community out there that are running around, saying they want a woman that had, less than 4 sexual partners, but dude's sticking his peg D in any hole he can find anytime he can find it? Why doesn't that dude take responsibility and quit sticking his peg D in any hole he can find? Let's start having accountability. Let's start having accountability on all ends, because you know what? The guys that are literally out there running around sticking their where, and they really don't care any port in a storm, I'll tell you right now, that's a pretty low value man, because he doesn't care where he's spreading his seed.
Right.
Exactly.
So you know what? Let's call it out where we see it, how we see it, when we see it.
That also goes along with the guys in this community. I'll call them out too. The guys in this community that talk about body count and how for men they should get as many sexual encounters as possible. You know what you're doing there, gentlemen? You know what you're doing?
You shouldn't.
No. You know what you're doing when
You
know what you're doing when you fucking do that? When you stack as many bodies as possible? You're creating the hoe culture that you fucking despise. You're creating the 304s. So how about that?
Yeah.
Fantastic logic there. Create the whores and then complain about the problem you created. Now, I am not saying the women are not at fault. I'm not saying that they're not fucking off the chain and hypergamy is out of control in modern society. But men, let's maybe not promote fucking 100 bitches because we can. Maybe that's stupid too, huh?
Have some self-respect for yourself.
Which, if men here are creating MGTOW content, that should be a given, not to be sleeping around with these 304s. Which I highly anybody that watches my content, I highly discourage you from even touching them, because you are aiding the problem. If you're out here sleeping with these 304s, body count stacking, then how are you different from these 304s?
Yeah.
The way I look at it.
Yeah.
So I don't encourage it. I don't.
I share that opinion, Outlaw. But then again, I've also been waiting until marriage, which at 42, I'm more or less assuming is never going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh God, who is that idiot character from Futurama? That one crab who had to go back to his home world for his one chance to mate.
Zoidberg.
The one that looks like Lizzo?
Well, either way, I'm essentially going to be living that guy's life, because I can't even get time of day from the type of women that I would even consider going out with, let alone getting to the point where I would be utilizing my peg D for, well, anything.
Yeah.
I have said
so
this
no,
before.
I completely agree with you. Stop with the
this
sleep around. Stop with the male version of hoe culture.
Exactly. I have said it before in the backstage, gentlemen. If what you're looking for are women, then MGTOW can't help you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I've stressed
all
on my channel that there is a difference by teaching them red pill, MGTOW, MGTOW monk. If you are somebody craving the attention of women, what I have to say to you is not going to help you unless you get burned. And that's what we're trying to prevent in the first place.
Yeah. Also, speaking to this, a bit of a fallacy. Men did not take the check, morals, ethics, values, and principles. No, but they did write the laws, such as the 19th Amendment, that created a lot of these fucking problems, didn't they? Reagan was a man. He was the one that went for no-fault divorce. So men need to start taking accountability, too. We created the problem we have. Women just took advantage of it. You know what?
No, I don't agree.
You don't agree?
No.
Okay, go on.
I don't need to go on. I don't agree.
So you don't agree that the men wrote the laws in this country to create the problems we have now?
Well,
the judges, the magistrates, everybody behind all of the laws you see now, alimony, child support, all of it. I mean, a woman might have pushed a man to create those laws. Some sweet talk in the bedroom after, but
look at the 19th Amendment and look what they did to get it.
Okay, go on.
Were they actually wanting to vote, or were they wanting to control their men? These are some of the questions that need to be answered. I have seen so many people, not just Candace Owens, that say the worst thing that ever happened in the American history, the United States history, was the 19th Amendment, which gave women the vote. I don't agree with that. That's bullshit. The problem is they weren't made responsible.
Fair enough. To answer your question, am I blaming men? No, I'm simply saying it's ironic that women are allergic to accountability, but when you say men are also part of the problem, suddenly the allergies start there too. That's what
the
I'm
hell did Jammo mean? But I want you, bud. Loving monster, LOL. I don't
try to figure out what the former cran eater ever is trying to say, so... All right, let's see. Reagan is guilty as sin. Feminist lawyers like Catherine McKinnon, the CIA, Rothschild did it. Giving women political power to apply to men keeps those men from overthrowing the power brokers. Yes. But let's just, who gives a fuck about this, right? Not that.
Where's
this.
the pee
what
break?
What I'm about to say, we're getting to the pee break. Fresh and fit, okay? They advocate the hoe culture. Sleep with as many women as possible. And by the way, do that by getting on fucking, what is that site? Charlie Madison or some shit where I don't know what they're doing. They're paying some women to sleep with them. They're paying the women to go on their show. Yes. They're paying the women for sex. They're telling their audience to sleep with as many women as possible and that they can just do whatever they want. No harm, no foul. That's what I'm referring to. Men are not taking accountability for their role in creating the problems. So, am I blaming men? Completely no. No, I'm not. Am I blaming men partially? Yeah. Takes two to tango. Both parties had a role in fucking this up royally. It's just, we don't want to take accountability any more than they do. We shirk off that responsibility and say how evil and fucked up women are. And quite frankly, you'd be right. But men allowed them to gain that power. They couldn't have gained that power without men allowing it. Does that make sense? Hopefully you guys are following me here.
No,
I'll tell you right now.
Sorry, I'm causing hate.
That's fine.
Are women to blame for the problems we have in our modern society? Yeah, women are to blame for the problems in our modern society. But you know what? There's a lot of men that are to blame for the problems in our modern society as well. There's a lot of blame to go around, and it seems like the women aren't the only ones that are allergic to accountability. There are a lot of guys that are out there that are doing the wham bam thank you ma'am and bouncing their way around and thinking that they're a quote unquote alpha male because they can go out there and hog slay and, bang anything with a hole in it, and they think that makes them a superior male. No, that doesn't. That makes you an idiot that is, falling, with a lack of self-control to your urges. If you were actually a superior male, if you were actually a superior person, you would have self-control. And the thing is the women were putting pressure on some of the men, and some of these men in the past were weak-minded individuals. They succumbed to the social pressures of women. They succumbed to a lot of other pressures throughout society and through the decades. There's men to blame, there's women to blame, and you know what? Everything they have done has put us in the world we are in now. So pissing and moaning and bitching and whining about what they have done isn't going to solve the problem. What we need to do is right the ship, be responsible for what we do, be responsible for what we say, live our lives the best we can, find peace in our lives, find ways to improve the society and be the change that we want to see. Yeah, we can sit there and say, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. Well, you know what? I'll stand by what I've said. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you know what? I know many people on this panel, as well as other people that know me personally, will attest to the point that I've said, I am wrong more often than I am right. And I will openly admit that. There are many times when I am wrong. But you know what? We're all on the same level playing field, and we're all here living and learning together. So why don't we quit this gatekeeping stuff and telling people and blaming and shaming and doing stuff like that? Why don't we actually work to be the change we want to see in society and seek peace? Find out what makes you happy, what brings you peace, and do it. And associate with people that bring you peace. Don't associate with people that actually enrage you, that get your blood pressure up, that get you spun up. That's not the best thing for you. Find what brings you peace, and that's going to be different than what brings peace to others. So that's just my 2 cents.
Fair enough. Well said. Look, and this is an example. I've disagreed with some of you on the chats tonight. I've agreed with some of you on the chats tonight. I'm not going to agree with everything any of you says, but there's been some good talking discussion points here. And, like I said, bottom line, I mean, we came here because I felt like certain members were attacking other guys that were getting in this community, and it kind of pissed me off, to be honest. That's why we're here. I'm not talking about the radicals, the crazies, the trannies, the pedos, all that crap. I'm talking about men keeping other men from coming into this space. Okay? But, there is something to be said about the topic we're on now, too. We've both had our roles in this. And I saw Thumper, I saw your comment. I didn't put it up in time, but you said men today didn't write those laws. Yes, that's true. But men still did write those laws. I guess bottom line, what I'm saying is we can't wash our hands of accountability here. We can't. We cannot say we didn't create the 304 culture. Who invented OnlyFans? Was that a woman? No, that was men. Okay? Mm-hmm. Men have allowed, created, promoted this problem. If you don't like that, if you don't agree with it, that's fine. You can throw it in the trash and walk out. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just telling you that it might be a good idea to look in the mirror and realize maybe us that swing dicks are part of the problems too. It's not just the women. I'm not excusing the women's behavior. It's deplorable. There is very little in the realms of modern women that is worth a damn. Okay? But I'm just saying the path paved to hell, men did some of that. Okay? It wasn't just women on their own. We held their hands and walked them right into it. OnlyFans, Instagram, Snapchat, fucking what else? Chatterbait. You know what I mean? Like, men created these websites, and they knew what they were for. All right? So let's not pretend that it's all the women's fault. Am I blaming men and shaming men? No. Blaming, yes. Shaming, no. We got to turn shit around. But that's our responsibility. We were where we created the problem. We have to be the ones to change course. That's the bottom line. But we're going to go to break here real quick. Hopefully we can transition conversation a little bit. I want to leave it at this. Real fucking simple. And I'm asking you this. Whether you like me, love me, hate me, loathe me, whatever the fuck you want to say about me, all I'm asking you in this community, whether you're a fan of Pop or whether you can't stand him, that man has put over 530 lives on the board that have personally attested that he's kept them from self-deletion, okay? Next time, and I'm again not talking about radicals, please stop that bullshit. If a man comes to you and he has different political beliefs or different beliefs in general, but he wants to be part of this community, he wants to learn, he wants to talk to you, ask questions, get to know the tenets of MGTOW, what Red Pill's about. Maybe instead of backstage or on a live show or in the chat or anywhere else in real life, wherever you meet this guy, maybe don't be a dick. Maybe actually, hey, let's talk about this. Sit down, get a beer, fucking talk like a decent human being to him. Don't come out saying, I don't accept you because you're mentally deranged because you don't believe in what I believe. Don't do that. That's bullshit. That's shitty behavior. I'm going to call it what it is. Don't be that guy. All right, that's all. That's it. That's the point of this stream. I'm not talking about gatekeeping the freaks and fucks that don't belong in this community. Hi, YouTube. We're demonetized. I don't care. I'm talking about men who want to be a part of the space that because you don't agree with them, you say, fuck you. That's kind of fucked up. Now, on that note, we're going to go to break. We'll see you on the other side. I'll get the backstage panelist in. Please make sure I'm going to have to take you off the stream if we have an echo. So make sure your mic is set up correctly. That's all I ask. Because I can't do the echo. That's going to distract from the show. All right, we're going to go to break. I don't know which one to do here. Fuck. Let's just... Shit, I don't know which break. We need new breaks, don't we? I have to think about this one. Oh, you know what? We're just going to do this one. Fuck it. We'll do this one.
I learned a lot. And I learned that I learned a lot. Anyway, Bo is associated here. Anyway, the point I want to make is I learned so much. I learned black, white, all colors, all backgrounds, but I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot, you know. Come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. What I have to do is I have to continue talking about the things. Come on, man. I came down here because I remember the first bumper sticker I saw. I learned that I got hairy legs that turned blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair come back up again. And I learned about kids jumping on my lap, my butt kids jumping on my lap. Oh, I'm in trouble. What are we nuts? Dead. You know, come on, man. Give me a little break here. Get a life. Taking cocaine or not? What do you think? Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds, but I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot, you know. Come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. Come on, man. The Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. I can hardly wait to meet with that guy who is the stable genius. Come on, man. I am very willing to let the public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. Come on, man. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids. Come on, man. I mean, come on. Take a look at the record. I know a lot of weed smokers. Come on, man. Black, white, all colors, all backgrounds, but I mean, come on, man. Men, women, gay, straight, everyone deserves a shot, you know. Come on, man. You know the thing. You know what I mean? You know the thing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Why the hell would I take a test? I am, come on, man.
I will your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, well, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat.
Anyway, Ginger Hamster wants to add, eat my own ass, nothing more natural as a hamster. Well, thank you for that. All right, we are back. The first half was serious. The second half may or may not be serious. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go. I think this is a conversation that needs to be had. I think it's needed to be had for weeks, if not months now, before it becomes a cancer. And that's something we don't want, okay? I think it just needs to be cut off at the pass here and addressed and fixed before it gets too far out of control.
Neuter
all right.
this bitch.
What's that?
Neuter this bitch.
Yes, neuter the bitch. Wait, wouldn't that be?
Yeah,
wouldn't you
I know.
spay the bitch?
Yeah, well, you know, we're
Anyway.
gender neutral here, buddy. Come on.
Shut the fuck up. That's what I get for trying to do a serious show with these guys.
I know when Alex Jones comes for my ass, he's not going to find little bits of popcorn. That's for sure.
Oh,
Wow.
Well, I hope he didn't find any peanuts either.
Yeah. All right, Rusty, you are on the show. Just do a mic check for me so we make sure there's no echo.
Okay, testing.
You are clear, sir.
Sound good, Rusty?
Okay.
Sounds good.
Hey, God, number one, God bless all you brothers. Thank you for having me, Rhino. I did want to make some comments, in response to some of the comments that you made.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you made reference to me saying that, I'm some kind of tool of Hammerhand or Chronic or something like that. And the context of that conversation was that people were trying to define me. And all I said was, as far as my participation in the manosphere is concerned, I'm just a super moderator. I'm the eyes and the ears of several content producers, such as Hammer, such as Chronic, such as Sir Yeetus, Hamster, Gone with John, Brandon Trueblood, etc., etc. That's all I said.
Well,
yes, that's all I said. That was the context. I was just trying to answer a question about who I was. That's my participation in the manosphere, and really, that's all it comes down to. Now, over the years, and I do say years, I have been a major contributor to a lot of content producers. I just recently got audited by the IRS for my contributions, because apparently my contributions did not add up to the income I was reporting.
oh, shit. All right.
But I'm not going to call out the particular person that probably brought that on, although you know them. And I think that in text and in chat, there is a different type of attitude or mood or feeling that comes across, you know, in text. And it's very difficult, you know, because I love each and every one of you. And I'm not trying to attack anybody. And sometimes text and chat, it really doesn't really convey, you know, the true heart and soul of somebody that is trying, you know, desperately to convey an idea. A lot of times when it's done passionately, such as in my case, it does come across as an attack. And I do apologize for that. But having said that, when I saw your thumb for your stream tonight, and I read open door policy, sir, I honestly think you're going down the wrong pathway here.
Okay, go on.
Yes, sir. I've been in this community for a very long time. I got into this somewhere between 2004 and 2005. I'm 54 years old today. I was married, you know, almost 24 years. I got involved in the MRA movement. I went to, you know, a conference in Charleston, South Carolina. I've been to a conference in Miami, Florida. You know, I met Paul Elam, shook his hand and everything like that. I remember when we reached the point that we knew that we weren't making a difference. And so we decided to have an open door policy. And we invited women in because we weren't fucking making any headway.
Well, let me ask you this before we go any further. You probably recall the after party last week, and this is what I'm referring to. Kind of spurred me on because I've seen it. It's not just you directly. I've seen it happening a lot more in the chats. I've seen it happening a lot more on shows, to be frank. And I see it to be a disservice when they're attacking men. Now, my first question for you is: you've been watching this content for how long? My channel. How long would you say you've been watching this channel?
You caught my attention about a year, maybe a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And I started monitoring you.
Okay.
And the way I always do it is I do it ninja style. You know, that you don't know that I'm there. You know, and I'm just watching you.
Well, let me ask you this. At what point in the last year and a half would you ever have the assumption, other than let's exclude Soldier Girl that we've had on the show a couple times. She's actually a supporter of the show. And her brother is a number on Pop's board, so I'm going to take that one a little bit personally, I suppose. When in the last year and a half do you think that this show or any member on this panel would ever support bullshit like Iridium Kush? I guess that's my first question.
Okay. In the way that you have just framed the question, the answer simply would be none.
Okay. The reason I asked that is because in the chat tonight, you had mentioned a bunch of things about supporting that type of person. That is not the open door policy I'm referring to. I'm referring to specifically, and this goes on to the next question. We had a guest that we have on tonight. He's here, Agent of Doubt. He is on the panel tonight. He shares different beliefs from you. In the after party, there was a discussion. It was a little bit heated on the show. We cooled it off. It worked out in the after party. Everybody talked it through. We're actually on good terms. You came in and immediately went off about how Democrats are mental disorders and this and that, which let's be honest, I don't exactly agree with most Democrats on anything. But I will tell you, I can separate the politics from the man, and that man in the show tonight, I was without giving away any personal information, because I don't dox here, but we were delegates for the Libertarian Party. That's how I met him officially, doing some protest stuff and then delegate work and all of that, as a Libertarian, by the way. We have a long-standing relationship. We haven't been connected for years. He's done his own thing. I've done mine. He's offered to go out for buffalo wings once in a while, and quite frankly, I need to take him up on it. But that being said, we haven't agreed on a lot of things over the years. Me and Agent of Doubt have actually, at times, I may have been a vitriolic piece of shit to him. We're demonetized, so fuck my language. But yet, I'm getting to the point now where I'm realizing, you know, again, separating him from the politics, he's a decent human being. So he came to this space, he saw the content that I was creating here and some of the men's stories, and it caught his attention. Why would we ostracize and hate on a fellow man, a fellow brother in this space, if he wants to be a part of it? I'm not talking about a fringe lunatic. We're just talking about a man that disagrees with your politics. Why would we attack him, is my question.
Okay. I have a response. Number one, I appreciate the way that you're framing the questions. However, I reject the way that you're framing the questions. I remember way back when, after we failed as MRAs, you know, I remember meeting with senators and representatives of, at least 3 different states. And we couldn't get anything done. We couldn't change anything. And we created basically an open door policy where we were at such an end that we were willing to bring anybody in that we thought could help us. And in this particular case, it was women.
Okay. Well, let me
backfired.
Let me reframe.
Hold on.
This is
If
kind of going off on a sideline.
Well, I'm not. I'm trying to address what you just said. We brought women in, and the whole thing freaking collapsed. And through our failure, through the demise of the MRA movement, that's what gave birth to MGTOW. There was a group of us, a very small group, and we rejected where all this was going. We rejected Paul Elam, and let me tell you something. Paul Elam's a good man. Okay, I know he says some shit, but he still is a good man. We rejected it, and we wanted to walk away. We wanted to go our own way. And some of us decided to write some stuff down, some stuff that we thought, and that became the MGTOW Manifesto. And it's a lot more than just no marriage, no cohabitation, and no more children. You know, like, for example, you know, one of the primary edicts that we came up with is that men should be actively proselytizing the MGTOW movement, that we all should walk away. And this open door policy, I seen it. The speech, sir, that you gave tonight, it was almost verbatim the same speech that Bullets for Teeth gave. Open forum, open freedom. Everybody has a stake in this. No, sir. I will tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, there is no room for communism, feminism, transsexuals, pedophiles, or anybody else that is not considered a normal man. We are not straight.
So are you referring to Agent of Doubt specifically as that one of those? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Does he deserve to be attacked?
Okay, I can respond to that. When you had Agent of Doubt on your show, I was not interacting. I was just watching ninja style in silence. And this brings up another thing that you said. I waited until you invited people to backstage. Now, Rhino, backstage has different rules than an open live forum, okay? And when I was backstage, I wanted to speak my mind, okay? I wanted to say what I had to say, and that was that there is no room for communism in our sphere. I mean, we have a club here, and I know that's hard to sometimes to translate manosphere to a club, but basically it's a club, okay? And we have rules.
Well, I don't know who wrote the rules for the backstage. I didn't see any rules written on mine. I don't think there are any rules written on mine, actually. Maybe I should write one. You know, don't be a dick. Panel, I'm actually going to open this back up to you. Your thoughts. Anybody is wanting to jump in may do so.
All right. Rusty, Crusader Nate here. You may have known me by many other names throughout the years. I know I've seen you in multiple chats, multiple channels. I would say that you and I, throughout the years, have had a very professional and or cordial, loose association or mutual support through multiple channels. Would I assume that to be correct?
Actually, Crusader, what you just said is spot on. I have initially, when I left the MRA movement, I was known by a different name back then, and I never want to bring that up because I don't want to cause any controversy.
Same here. I would regularly change my username about every 3 months because of my professional association. If it ever got out I had any part in this, I would have lost my career. Mm-hmm. So there are many people here that are aware of that. Many other people are aware of that outside of this. You and I have been a part of this. I've been loosely associated with this community long before Paul Elam ever became a notable individual in this community. I've been around this before guys like Rollo Tomasi ever thought of writing a book. I've seen this community grow. I've seen this community change. I've seen it rise. I've seen it fall. You and I have both been down that road many times. Many of us have seen individuals get emotionally charged and or driven and have said things directed towards other people that it was within the heat of the moment. And as calmer heads look back and prevail, there are moments where I've said things to certain individuals that having the opportunity to go back and to apologize to them, I would gladly do that. Would you do the same thing?
Oh, absolutely, and I have.
Okay, all right, and I've done the same thing myself. I would still say that we are fairly loosely associated within supporting a lot of things. I mean, whether it be Thumper, whether it be Mitchell, whether it be Billy Von Bomb, whether it be Pop, whether it be Hamster, whether pick the channel within the community. I've been on one of their channels at one point in time since YouTube has been around. Mm-hmm. And I know you have been as well. So I'm willing to stand up and say that, yeah, I've said some pretty inflammatory things. And last week, well, before I say any more, how many people here are aware that when Abraham Lincoln was president, he used to write scathing letters and scathing notes, and he would never mail or send them out. He would put them in a drawer in his desk and read them a couple of days later, and if he felt the same way, he would send those letters out. Is anybody else familiar with that story about Abraham Lincoln? Anyone on the panel familiar with that, or is that kind of news to most
I've heard it. He wanted to get his words down on paper, but he didn't necessarily want to put them out there. Yeah.
Rusty, are you familiar with that story about Abraham Lincoln?
Actually, sir, I'm very, very adept at Civil War history.
Have you seen Razor Fist's episode?
So, well, I have a point to continue on beyond that, but that's a case in point where he said he was emotionally charged. He said and or written things down, and many times he destroyed the letters after, or threw them in a drawer and never touched them,
or lit them on fire.
Right, exactly. Some of them were destroyed. Some of them wound up finding their way into a desk drawer and into history pages. So, and like I've said before, and I'll repeat myself again, I'm wrong more often than I'm right. And if I said or did anything to somebody, I would relish in the opportunity to apologize to somebody. Would you be willing to do the same thing, Rusty?
Oh, absolutely. And listen, before my battery dies completely, let me just say what I'm opposed to is any open door policy that includes communist, feminist, transsexuals, or pedophiles. We all need to have an open mind, but we don't need to have an open mind so much that our brains fall out.
How many times have I disavowed this repeated statement on the show tonight? Right. How many times? I think 3, 4,
I understand,
5.
Rhino. I get that. Okay, but what I'm addressing is the slippery slope, sir.
Yeah, and it is a very dangerous and it is a very slippery slope. I do not condone any deviant behaviors of any nature. I will openly admit that. Now I'm all about remaining open and having an open mind, and people can do what they want to do as long as they don't impact my life. So, I hate to call you out, Rusty, but you know what? When have you wanted me to ever ask a question or say something to somebody that I don't honestly feel? I mean, you know me. I say things that I think, that I believe, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. What exactly are you calling me out about?
Okay. Well, when last week you made a statement that liberalism is a mental illness.
Yes, it is. You disagree?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, but at least you're on the record now for saying that you disagree that liberalism is a mental disorder.
Well, considering the psychology background of two of our panel members, this is a slippery slope. But let it continue.
I studied human behavior for a number of years. I've worked in research in psychology, genetics, and neurology. I'm very
okay. Name the four attachment styles, sir, if you please.
You're actually going to an area that I did no work in.
Okay, name the four cluster B disorders, sir, if you please.
Okay, done.
Once again, that is an area that I did not study.
Okay, the four cluster B disorders, sir, is narcissistic, borderline, histrionic, and antisocial. The four attachment styles is secure, anxious, preoccupied, fearful, avoidant, and dismissive, avoidant. So, sir, where are you coming from?
Well, I will agree. That is not a field of study.
Do you have a degree, sir? Do you have a degree, sir? Okay, what is it? What is it?
Degree? My degree?
Yes, sir. What is it?
My degree is in neurocognitive psychology with a minor in epigenetics and genetic research. What is your degree?
Okay. I have a bachelor's in history and I have a bachelor's in English.
Okay. So neither one of us are technically in the field of mental disorders, nor have neither of us been trained in mental disorders. So I will openly admit that my understanding of quote unquote liberalism, the definition that I am familiar with liberalism is somebody who is focused on liberty and liberty-minded absolutism. Okay, they prioritize liberty above and beyond everything altogether. Would I classify?
You're describing You're describing a classical liberal. You are not describing a liberal today, sir.
Okay, so I will agree with you that the vast majority of people who are quote-unquote modern liberals, from the statistics that I've seen, is anywhere from 63 to 66% of them are double X chromosomes, women. Now, if you look at the statistics on the modern women today, anywhere between 50%, 30% to 50% of all modern women are on some form of psychotropic medication. Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
I agree. And let me also say this. If I die out in the chat, that please do not take it personally. My battery is running low. But let me also respond to what you just said. In the history of Western civilization, we have never have had this amount of single mama households ever. And those single mama households are producing the greatest amount of cluster B personality disorders, including narcissistic and borderline personality disorder.
Okay, now, we've had a minute here. I would like to bring Agent of Doubt back into the discussion here. Agent of Doubt, with what you're comfortable, you don't have to say anything you're not comfortable with. What is your background?
I have a master's in counseling, supervision, and education, and I have 2 bachelors in English and in psychology.
Okay.
Rusty and I share the same major in English, and I do want to honor Mr. Rusty Rivers of the Blowhole, because he is demanding of respect by quizzing us on the attachment styles and the
I was good at that. I mean, I learned that in the last time I went to therapy.
I will say he did rattle them off the top of his head very correctly. Just like I can say the 7 dwarves on Snow White, sleepy,
right.
dopey, sneezy, bashful, and dark.
Ah.
You know, did you know Bashful was one of them? Did you? But I will say, I completely respect his belief that this is not a communist space. This is not a commune. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We have come here as a collective of men with a red theme to where we're the redists over here that collectively want to promote strength in men in a union. So we're going to call this a club, like Mr. Rivers wants, and not communist or commune or anything. This is a club.
Yes.
In no way do we collectively come together, except for the way I just donated to the Cash App, because I believe in the management of Rhino for our collective, and as I could do, so I will give to the needy. But this is not communist. This is a club.
All right. This has been an interesting fucking goddamn episode. Fuck monetization. Agent of Doubt, I don't have the We're Not Worthy, but you are definitely getting one of these. He made that statement and donated $100 tonight. So, Agent of Doubt. God damn it. All right. I'm going to open this back up to the fucking panel. Does anybody else want to get into this? This gone so far off the fucking rails towards the end here, but anybody else?
Is Jammo got a camera feed so we can
Jammo needs to follow basic instructions getting to Gilded. Jammo, I guess I'll send you a fucking email. I'll figure out how to get him in
fucking
here.
video feed, dude, and then maybe you'll.
He's gonna
in
just
here.
totally derail this whole show. That's what he's here for.
Exactly.
Well, he
I'm
keeps
assuming
asking, so just give him the instructions and tell him to fuck off otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I just want to put something out there.
There it is.
I think this was a great conversation and a great direction. Too bad that Rusty's phone collapsed on him. His battery died. I would greatly enjoy having a conversation with him. I think it was going in a great direction. Mm-hmm. And like I've said before, I don't know what classifies what is a quote unquote liberal, but a modern definition, if you were going to classify a modern liberal as a modern woman, then yeah, anywhere from 30 to 50% of them are on head meds. So would I classify as all liberals? I'd say roughly 60% of them, because that's about 60% of them are women. There's a 30 to 50% chance that they are the ones that are on head meds. So I would not make that direct correlation that just because they are a liberal that they have mental illness. That is my only point, and that's the one point that I will call out, and I am willing to discuss that further with others on other streams. Agent of Doubt, am I correct? Am I wrong? Or am I way off in the weeds and insane?
I think you're correct.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, that was it. That was easy. All right.
I love it.
Yeah, for those of you in the audience watching as the circus performance is going on tonight, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you as always. Pretty good high retention rate. Thank you again for watching on Rumble and switching out of YouTube. We have actually our higher numbers. Let me check the Rumble chat here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, we're good there. And then MGTOW, I'll check really quick as well. MGTOW's been kind of falling apart lately. I think it's growing pains.
Well, I
but
started
numbers,
there, but nobody was there.
Yeah, numbers are very low lately. And that's not just on my channel. That's been shared by a few channels now. So, but those of you on Rumble, thank you so much. Because I don't know how long we'll be here, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, I know this wasn't the most fun, exciting bullshit show that we normally do, involving squirrels and all of that nonsense. But but I think it was a discussion that we needed to have. I think there should be more of these discussions, not just here, but on your platforms as well, in your communities, in your chats, on your shows. I don't think it needs to stop here. Rusty, I'm not gonna speak for him and what he means, but I can agree that no, we're not communists. We don't support trannies or pedophiles or any of that shit. And I don't know where he gets the idea that we would. Most men here, including me, I'm not going to give a woman a wrench on the show. I'm just not going to do it. Okay? I don't think a lot of men, well, okay, there are some men that platform women in this space. That's up to them. Again, going their own way. They do whatever the fuck they want. Do I agree? No. Can they do it? Yes. Bottom line is, I think the problem, there is a major miscommunication here going on. So let's try to correct that. We're not communists. But if somebody with different beliefs than you wants to talk to you and maybe learn something from you, let me say it again. Don't be a dick. Can we just agree on that for fuck's sake?
Don't be a dick, yes.
Don't be a fucking dick. All right? And don't cuss on your streams so you don't get monetized. Ask me how I know.
You had a good streak. It took about 40 minutes for somebody to break it.
I did, and it was me, and I own it.
Oh, no, that was Tommy.
Oh, it was Tommy? Tommy
it
did
was
it?
Me. It was
you
me,
popped
but
the
it was
cork,
40
you
minutes.
son of a bitch.
Yeah, it took you about an hour and a half.
Okay. So,
Wow.
Here, I'll fix
I tried. Crusader, at least, did I try? Did I? I tried.
You're gonna participate. You know what? You're a millennial dude. You get your participation trophy.
Listen, fuck off, boomer. All right.
I'm Gen X, man.
I'm going to identify any of you. You, Billy, Tommy, you're all fucking boomers to me. Matter of fact, you're not even free from this. You're pushing boomer too, you son of a bitch. All right. Who the fuck do we have here? First, we got to get this son of a bitch because he never shows up on my show anymore because he's like
That's Walt Disney,
afraid of the camera or something. But welcome, Jimmy Goddamn Evil Shaggy Bones. Oh my God, he has a blue screen.
That's not the right one,
or a green
man.
screen. Or is it? There's another one back there. I see him. We'll get him in a minute. When I'm ready to derail the whole show and fuck it up, I'll bring on JMO. Jimmy, what's going on, man?
Hanging out, man. Having a good time.
I see that. Yeah, you're on the beach with the dead guy.
Yeah, we got the wave crashing over the entire civilization, and
yes,
I'm over here just big chilling, having a good time.
There you go.
Enjoying
I got a
myself.
question, Jimmy.
Yeah,
I got a question, Jimmy. Is the skeleton in the back, is that good bones or is that evil bones? Just asking for a friend, of course.
My lawyer has expressed me to not answer that question.
Okay.
In a rainbow hammock.
On that note, not looking at the color of the hammock that is exclusively homo.
No, it's not. It's not the homo hammock because it's
just a
7
beach
colors.
hammock. It's just a beach. Give him a break. All right, Jimmy.
Also,
Is there anything you want to add to the show tonight? Since it's been a contentious and interesting panel and show and discussion.
It has been a quite the interesting night, and I will a lot of people are not going to like this. I'm going to agree and disagree with a lot of things that were said tonight. Some things I will agree with, a lot of that, but and again,
I saw that.
We cannot allow a quote unquote influencer. My fucking fingers are all fucked up because of my screen. I'll fix that later.
Whatever the screen. Yeah, I know it's that problem.
My main point is here, we cannot let one person, whether you 100% agree with them, because if you 100% agree with that person, it does not make them a scholar. It makes you a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, you're not wrong.
Never agree with someone 100% of the time. Always be that thorn that will disagree. And I can guarantee you, any one of these gentlemen on the panel that have been on the panel tonight, especially Rusty, Hammer in the chat, shout out to Hammer. Love the dude, no homo. There
Except
are
for the hammock.
Fuck you, that hammock is comfortable.
All right, go on.
There are things within the quote unquote red pill MGTOW monk community, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Everyone is going to have some kind of
Oh shit.
Someone's going to call someone out on some bullshit. It's like, you know what? If you stand on your base, your frame as a man, it does not matter what the fuck anyone else fucking says. As long as you stand on your frame and your base and you stay on that as a man, it doesn't fucking matter what anyone else has to say, regardless who they are, regardless what influence they have. Who they could have, I got 1 million followers on YouTube. And it's like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to live my life complete opposite of how that person lives their life. And I'm going to be happy because I live my life how I live my life.
One waffle at a time.
Shut up, because I'm serving a full fucking stack here. You
know what I haven't done in a while? And it's coming back just for you. It's coming back in a style. We're bringing it back. The wooden fucking fist just for you, Jimmy.
Fuck you, man.
I got to interrupt you, though. I enjoy your waffles, and I appreciate your message, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. So first of all, Tommy, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
Jesus
anyway,
Christ.
You earned it, so here it is. Holy shit, man. Thank you. But put your wallet away, bury it in the backyard or something, man, please. All right. Yes. And who else do we have here? We actually had Rusty. Rusty, I will get you on here as well. Yeah, Rusty matched also for $100 tonight. So thank you, Rusty. Yeah. Again, we disagreed. We don't always have to agree, but fucking good on you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Badass, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I do.
Yeah, you better use it right, bitch.
Fuck you. Anyway, back to the waffle in chief. And then this guy. Wait, actually, you know what? I'm going to interrupt him again because he hates it. And then this guy. This guy has to shut up for a minute. But this guy. And then this guy. There you go. This guy.
Go to GMO. Go to GMO.
All right, y'all ready to have the show fucking bombarded with nonsense and fuckery? Because
it's coming. It's coming.
Sorry, don't get me banned. Do not get me banned, you son of a bitch.
That's next week.
Yeah. Like, all I have in the background is a light. I don't have a homo hammock. Jesus.
Hey, man,
I was going to lead off with, hey, you know who loves to get fisted? But nobody wanted to hear it. By the way, it's sock puppets, you dirty bastards.
Wow.
I love Jammo already.
Oh, I had a question for what the fuck's his name? Hold on. God damn it. All right, Tom. I had a question for Tom.
Oh, yeah. Go for it, man.
What did you mean by my kids will be the most based individuals ever?
I didn't say that.
You did say that.
That wasn't Tom. Not my Tom.
That might have been Tom Davis in the chat.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't Tom Davis. I didn't ask that. What the hell?
We'll have to go back and look at that.
Give me the question. Give me the question, because...
No, when I said I had to go unteach my kids all the shit that they overheard that night,
Oh, so you're talking about a previous stream.
Oh, okay. You've lost us.
Yeah.
That was the Thanksgiving stream, but my daughter came.
Oh yeah, that was like 3 streams ago.
Okay, but fill us in because I will answer for sure.
You might not like the answer though.
No, that was just my question. Apparently, I fucking heard you wrong. Fucking shit.
All right.
No, he just
God
doesn't
damn
remember.
it!
Are we ready to get out of here? You guys, have you had enough? I've had enough. I feel
Hold on. I fucking joined. I put on the goddamn.
And then we
mic
end the show.
for
The
fucking
second he
everybody
shows up,
here.
we're done.
You
We're good here.
motherfucker.
We quashed
Jammo.
the shit in the red pill MGTOW. We all shook hands.
feel like
How
singing.
shocking is that? You
Jammo,
know,
you're in the after party. Don't worry about it.
I have to ask you this. How many times in this community do you see that happen where we can all just agree to disagree and get along by the end of it? I very rarely see that. Usually it's like 5 months of drama and back and forth videos of people talking shit. We've done this a couple times. We actually pull it off where, hey, you know what? Fuck you. But, we can still hang out. It's cool.
I don't know.
The sad thing is, though, from my experiences, of course, I'm the the twatter person and whatnot.
With
So
the
that's
gay hammer.
lovely.
I read it too, dude. You're not alone.
It is really, really hard to actually emphasize your feelings within a text message.
Agreed.
Those
Yeah.
like on a tangent, those that know that you're joking around, I'll be like, oh well, yeah, you can go fuck yourself in your whole entire life, and someone can say, and they will laugh at it because they know you're joking around. But when you're interacting with when you're interacting with someone in the chat that you haven't really had very much interaction with, it's really hard to break that barrier.
It is.
What
and there's
the
something
fuck is all this chortling about? All right, Crusader,
Look
your
at your
point. We'll get
chat.
back to that in a second.
Well, I want to build on what Jimmy just said. And Rusty said it previously, so I want to give credit where credit is due. There's always something that gets lost in translation when you're looking at a verbal conversation versus a text conversation. So if anybody can learn anything from this conversation tonight, let it be that there can always be something taken out of context in a text versus a verbal conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe people just need to stop being little fucking keyboard warriors.
Little bitches. Little bitches.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you out there, Tom Davis. He said Jimmy thinks he's special. Well, I may or may not be special in the ways that certain people think, but
Jimmy,
I am
show us
special.
your Dahmer fridge. That's what I want to see.
Jimmy, I love you,
No.
and you know it.
No.
I
Just-
would give
just
you
a fucking hard
reach
pass.
around.
Hey,
Whoever made that special
But,
cake.
I gotta.
What about
I
you?
gotta,
Joke I can make Jimmy again.
All right. One at a time. God damn it.
All right. Well, I think it was Jamo I got the question for, but I'm not sure because it's been a while since he mentioned on the stream. Just wondering, was that a carpet cleaning machine I saw in the background there? Just asking for a friend.
for blood.
Let's take a look. Show us your background.
Yeah.
Who?
You got
Jamo,
a
weren't
carpet
you
muncher
the-
5,000 back there? Is that what you got going on?
Jamo,
there?
weren't you
The oversized pocket.
Carpet cleaner?
Nobody
Yellow
else's
carpet?
business but mine. I
Jamo,
like
weren't you
to
the
think, all right? Shit.
Jamo, weren't you the one couple months back that said it's all fun and games until you need to call the carpet cleaner? A
Yeah.
couple months back. Yeah, that just a little.
And now,
Well, I had a question.
let's see your carpet muncher. Let's look at it. Get a good look.
It's busy right now. It's counting the wrinkles on my pinched cinnamon ring.
Well, welcome
no,
to the second
Jimmy,
half of the show.
Huh?
I had a serious question.
Okay.
All right, so
I don't
Jimmy,
believe you.
it is serious. This means the world to me because I go to it every year.
I definitely don't believe you.
Fair enough. I couldn't either. So, Jimmy, do you want to go to the female Paralympics with me? It's going to be crawling with pussy. I mean,
Well,
I'm an equal opportunity. Whatever you call this.
as long as there is a cornfield within the events.
Dear God.
Oh hell!
You're
yeah.
not
I
going
hate
to
this
leave her
place.
hanging in the tree, are you?
What I do with my flotation devices again is my business.
All right. Well, since we've gone down that road, it's time for some Tucker Carlson words of wisdom.
Bitches born in the 90s that's under 25 can't cook, can't clean. They don't want to work nothing. Niggas that's 31 and over get in relationships with them and wonder why shit ain't working. That's because all young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge they phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
Hey.
I love that one.
All right. Well, we can do one of two things. We can keep the show going far too long, which is not an option because I have gone on, well, fuck, like no sleep in the last 24 hours. Why don't we do final thoughts? Take it to, what? What the fuck did you say? What?
Nothing. The carpet.
No,
talk.
say it again. Go ahead, say it again.
You want
I
me
want to
to
hear
be
from your
big?
carpet. No, put
You're
your
not
carpet
shy.
muncher on. I'm done with you.
Fine.
Wow.
Let's see that goddamn carpet muncher. Come on.
No,
Come
you
on.
hurt my fucking
Come
feelings.
on. Come on. Don't be shy.
What carpet? Hold on.
Oh, there it is. Wait.
What?
Did we just enter an episode of Hoarders?
No, I think he's going to eat the couch.
And they tell Tommy to clean his room.
Tommy's room?
Oh, leave my fucking room out of this.
Hold on. Is it really that bad? Fuck me.
Ooh, Barbie car.
I like the Barbie car. It's
Yeah.
Hey,
it's up
no,
to my
Grandma
style.
in his fucking hammock.
No,
My
you can't
fucking
have it,
Barbie
Outlaw.
car.
You
My
can't even have the
fucking Barbie
Lambo.
car.
You know what?
No.
You know what? You know.
No.
You know what? You started this shit again. You know? We've been over this. You cannot have it. You
No.
cannot have.
No.
Not yours. Okay?
No.
All right.
Hey, hold on.
Glad we
Hey,
settled that.
Fine.
Hey,
Alright.
you guys want to see the sexiest man alive at one point in his life? Hold on.
Yeah. No.
I feel like that would give everybody here a homo suspicion point.
Oh, damn
But
No.
Why does Rhino look
I want to see
worried?
some more.
okay.
That's a good looking man.
Damn! Look at that man.
I'd
I
suck
hate
his
those
cock.
fucking
Damn,
hands, but that's
boy,
a good
he
looking
looking
man.
Thick.
How many crayons did you eat?
Tonight,
Just-
3.
Are you on a diet?
Yeah, he's on a diet.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on.
All right, listen. I got to get control
It
of this.
backs
This has
him
gone-
up.
This has gone too far. Look
No.
at the time. Look at
No.
the time. Shut up, Outlaw. Shut the. No.
You know that.
Look at the
You
time.
shut
You see the
up.
time?
Shut
Look at the
up
time.
right
It's
now.
time.
We-
It's
We went on for way
Jimmy,
too fucking
you see
long
this?
about some
You see this?
seriousness.
You see this?
Oh, yeah.
You see this?
Round.
Jimmy. Look closely.
Oh,
What sounds familiar? What looks familiar in this photo? Anything?
I see what looks familiar.
You see anything
First
familiar there?
time.
Oh, hold on.
I know it looks familiar because I saw it the first time.
Love April Saunders. Isn't that nice? I get my own Christmas card.
And I didn't get one. What in the fuck?
She's overrated.
Well, you suck, dude.
You gotta have to take that
Well,
off the Saunders family.
Well,
For those
Yeah,
of you
April
just
did-
tuning in, she didn't send me one, but two.
Yeah.
I've got my own Ninja Turtles April Saunders too, signed by the way. See that? Isn't that cute? That fucking
That XO must mean shoot and stab.
yes,
Yes. Yes.
something like that. All right, listen. You got? Let me ask the most reasonable man in the room there, and that's scary.
No problem. Oh, damn.
Shut up. Do
Oh,
we
God
continue
damn.
or do we
Nate
go
is not
backstage?
reasonable.
Do we end the
Well-
show now?
I think we had a rather productive period of time here. I'm not going to specify that. I think we've all learned, we've all grown. I think it's a great time for everybody to give their final thought. Make it brief. That means you, Jimmy. Less than 2 minutes.
For the last.
Yeah.
You'll be first, bitch.
Jimmy can make it. Jimmy can make his waffles this weekend.
20 more minutes.
Right. So, hey guys, let this just be a lesson to everybody that there are things said and done where there's always a miscommunication, but there's always a common ground. So just remember that, and remember that things get heated, things get emotional, people say stupid things. God knows I've said more than my fair share. So that's my final thought. Well,
okay.
A couple times a day, it's okay, we'll be honest.
Fuck off. All right, that was his final thoughts. He gets no more words. None. All right? I can't do final thoughts. I'm the host. Fuck off. Tommy, your final thoughts.
Jackal's still on. Calliope's asking. Jackal, answer Calliope.
Yeah,
I was muted
here
for some reason.
I didn't mute. Oh, because I heard your refrigerator.
What's wrong with my fucking...
Or your fan.
I love my owls.
Maybe you're over at Jimmy's house playing with the refrigerator. Is that what's going on? I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
Cleaning Tommy's room?
He could be cleaning Tommy's room with the carpet muncher provided by JMO.
That's Tommy's room. If he was in my place, he would either be.
Well, this is old. You know why it's old? We can see the casting couch back here.
So many freaking beers.
Don't judge me. I was drunk and I knocked my shit over, man.
Stop derailing final thoughts, you fucks. Tommy, your final fucking thoughts.
I'm fucking done. You can all fuck off.
That was it.
Wow.
All right, that was cool. Squirrel, when we get to you, I expect like a jaw-dropping speech that changes lives. So,
wait, what?
Yep, I'm expecting a lot from you tonight. You know, there it is.
Oh, I'm gonna underachieve then.
My final thought.
Fuck off, Mando. Oh, I meant fuck off. Period. Mando, go on.
Yes, there are.
Punctuation. Punctuation.
Fuck. Go ahead, sir.
I need to keep an open mind about things. We all need to keep an open mind about things, but
there we go.
We all also. Rusty does have some points on that, and so do other members of the group, of our wider community. If you agree with everyone all the time, you're not thinking for yourself, you're following someone else's brain. I'm going to go ahead and end that because I don't know if even half of what I just said went through. I am glitching like crazy at this time.
Yeah, we caught most of it.
I think we got it.
Yeah. All right, I regret this every fucking time, but we've had enough levity to maybe push this back to a fun direction. Jackal, do you have any wise words, any final thoughts, anything that you'd like to contribute to the show
constructive?
tonight? Yes.
You asked the youngin for wise words. That's a mistake.
Every time I do, I regret it, so prove me wrong, sir.
No, you should have told me that. Now I'm going to intentionally do it, you fucker. Okay, wise words. Well, pushing people away just because you disagree with them on one particular topic is not how our species has been able to perpetuate for this long. There have been times where even those that disagreed on many things, whether it be religion, philosophy, or just belief in general, politics, whatever form of politics you can think of, people have disagreed on many things and have still cooperated. Why? Because it was necessary. Damn it. But the point is that just because you disagree in one area does not mean that we should shove them away and isolate each other, because that's exactly what those that are in current position of power that don't like us working together want us to do. They want us to infight. They want us to be separate. They want us to be petty towards each other, because a separated and divided enemy is easier to crush. So staying
Agreed.
together, just because we have a little disagreement here and there, does not mean that we need to just completely isolate each other based on every single little detail and belief. Besides, a little bit of diversity, and I don't want to sound woke-ish, but a little bit of diversity of thought in a group can make it stronger, because if everybody specializes in the exact same fucking thing, well, just like a gene pool, everything starts to get a little stale, you know, if you know what I mean. So
fair enough.
Everybody needs to have changes, and we need to. Okay, I need to turn this off so I can fucking focus. But we need to. Shut up, waffle maker, before we put you back in the box. We'll find that box and we'll put you back in it. Anyways, I'm waffling myself. Damn it.
Yes.
Point is, we need to stop fighting each other, because at the end of the day, what is the core of this community in and of itself? Guys are getting fucked over. We're getting fucked up, whether it's by society and its rules that are geared specifically to push us down, or it's the other side of the species that has gone insane, I guess, and they just, for some reason, view us as just cattle to be milked, sometimes literally, and just use us for resources and for their own personal selfish gains. So what do we do here? We create a network to which we can help each other. Again, individuals can march up the beach and maybe get some yardage, but eventually he's going to get knocked down. But if we stand together and all move at once, together as a unit, we are unstoppable. So fighting amongst each other is just going to create more gaps in the line. More gaps means it's a weaker line, and thus it will be easier to destroy us. So don't do that. For every time you push away a potential friend that you could make, another alloy. Wow, fuck, I am not doing too good today. Another brother that could be there to watch your back, because who knows? Circumstances may flip. You may be the one who needs help, and that new guy that you just brought in might just have the answer to your problem. For every friend you make, that's another potential problem that might get solved just because you have somebody that's dealt with it before. Because not all of us know exactly what's going to happen in our lives, and we all have had our run-ins with Murphy. He likes to shake it up a few times here and there, and he might throw you a curveball that you've never encountered before. But somebody that
5 minutes,
that may not, understand, or is new to the community, might just have the answer for you. So quit making the link weak, and don't make the whole chain weak by kicking out the one potential link. Especially over petty shit. Okay, so he's a Democrat. What's your point? Does he still have something to contribute? Yeah? Okay, then. Come on in. Let's sit down and let's discuss. That's what makes this community strong, is because you've got so many fields of expertise covered that it doesn't matter what angle you come at us from. We're going to have some guy that's seen this shit before, and he's going to know how to take you down.
Sorry.
That's it.
All right. Wanted to jump on this really quick. First of all, StreamYard has a backstage. It is currently full. It'll probably empty. If you want to get in, be patient for the after party. Secondly,
flush that toilet.
Successful endeavors and Rusty have now brought this up, so I want to bring it up. All right, Rhino, you generally have a good show. I don't always agree with you, but earlier you sounded like you were quoting bullets verbatim. Now, here's the thing. I have heard about Bullets for Teeth from Brandon Trueblood. Okay. I've watched, only because after hearing what Brandon had to say, I've watched Iridium, and he does this piss poor job of trying to threaten you by like doing this veiled, so help me God if I get banned for this veiled faggotry, where he basically says, yeah, I could sue you, and here's the Oxford Dictionary definition of slander. Like, quit being a fucking dumbass. So I've watched a couple of his to see how he reacts to being called out for wanting to, you know what I mean, okay? I'm done with that shit. Okay, but I've never watched Bullets. I don't know anything about the dude. Maybe a broken clock is right twice a day. I don't know, but I don't know him enough to know. All I know is if he shares the same beliefs as Iridium, you know, I'm not even going to waste a wooden fist on him. Go fuck him, right? Go fuck himself. Whatever. He can go fuck off into a wood chipper if that's what they're about, okay? So that was purely coincidence if I sounded like I was giving his speech verbatim, because I've never watched the show, okay? But if you can point me towards the show so I can see it, so I can actually see what you're referencing, that would be helpful. All right. We do have a few other guys to get through final thoughts. I think what we're going to do, because the show has to end sometime this century, so let's have the waffler on not last. Jimmy Bones. Going once. Going fucking twice.
That's a gay hammock.
All right,
He probably stepped out for a.
Jimmy is getting lung cancer right now, so we'll just have to like. I can't let him go last. You know what happens if we let him go last? It cannot be allowed. I will not allow it. What the fuck in the chortling is going on here? Speak your piece.
What?
Your final thoughts, sir.
All right. I've sat back and watched all of this unfold, and I think it's important to understand that MGTOW is a very specific solution to a very specific problem. Men who have been raked over the coals in divorce courts, alimony, child support by women, right? So the reason that MGTOW gatekeeps troons and, well, I'll just say it since you said it, faggots and women is because they don't want a repeat of what happened to the MRA movement, right? The only thing that you can control as a MGTOW content creator is your own channel, which is why for men by men, the channel only allows men on panels for me, my channel. I don't wrench women. I don't allow them on panel. Doesn't mean I hate them. Doesn't mean I don't want to get along with them. Nothing like that. It just means that for my channel and what I'm doing on my channel, it's for men. And you have to put men first if you're going to reach them. So, you know, you don't allow troons and faggots and all that on because that's evil. That's sick. That's bullshit. Right? Personally, I don't agree with any of it, so I don't allow it. Right? But that is how I conduct my channel. The only thing that MGTOW is supposed to be is guidelines for how men lives their life. It's not a commandment. It's not do it or else I'm going to knock your ass out. It is, if you want to live a better life based off wisdom and example from the elder men who have been through that, this is what they do. This is what they suggest you do in order to have a better chance at a better life. And that's,
Well, you outdid yourself, sir. That was well said. I was actually expecting you to troll me, and that was damn good. All right.
That'll come later.
Well, yeah. Wait till the after party, then he'll fuck with me. All right. Thank you, Outlaw. Sean, your final thoughts.
Well, I know I haven't really been vocal tonight. You guys kind of beat me to the punch, and you guys produced a lot of stuff that, you know, they gave me some things to think about. Um, but just kind of going on with the gatekeeping part, I think there is some reasonable amount of gatekeeping, such as when you try to invite people who are hostile to your community into your community.
Yeah.
I think it's reasonable to keep them out. And then you guys have added to it that I agree with, or different factors or variables, types of people to keep out that I agree with. But when you start gatekeeping and you make the gate so narrow, and we're a community about helping men, you're going to start alienating them.
Mm-hmm.
So let's be mindful that we don't keep the gate so narrow that we alienate them, and like you were saying earlier, they don't get the guidance that they would have gotten, and possibly lead to self-deletion.
All right. Well said. On that note, we cannot let you be last, sir. Waffle on for 30 seconds or less.
Oh, well, me, 30 seconds or less. Let me,
5 minutes later.
Take 329.
I'll do it. I'll press that button.
Of course he's going to press that button because he's an asshole towards me and he doesn't like me. Fuck beast. So, gentlemen, we all know of the red pill MGTOW lifestyle and to the red pill monk mode of that some people live. We cannot allow some men to influence the ways which will dictate the way that we live our lives. We can take that influence and take their knowledge and allow that to influence ourselves to live our own lives. But in the fucking end, despite all the bullshit, doesn't matter who you fucking follow, any of the fucking red pill MGTOW, and it doesn't matter who the fuck you follow. You are responsible for the way that you live your life. The way that you live your life, depending on certain circumstances, we can get into that for a different day. I will support you guys. We have Rusty Rivers in the chat. He was very conflicting on ways that we did our things. I'm not going to argue against him, but I will push back on certain things that he said. Then again, I'm not going to say live your life on this fucking direction. Live your life on this direction. Live your own life on your own direction, gentlemen. Please, as long as you're happy, as long as you're walking on this planet, as long as you do not have that influence to ventilate your thinking meat. Because, gentlemen, you are wanted. You are needed on this planet. We are all needed here. We can all fight and bicker and about fucking petty shit amongst the community and all this other shit. I don't care about that. We can always gloss over that and plan out the fucking leveling field and make sure that we are on the right path that says we have strong men that are willing to pick up the shovel and the long-ranged hole puncher, if needed, to rebuild this country.
I really need a waffle thing to pop up on screen. But yes, go ahead.
I'm just saying,
waffles.
It needs to be like waffles dancing across the screen as he talks.
Preaching law.
I can agree with. I can sit down next to. I can sit down with anyone and listen to what they talk about, and agree with some things, and disagree with other things. But if they go full on headboard towards certain things that I really don't agree with, I'm going to push back on that. If those people are not willing to accept that pushback, they really need to sit down and have a good conversation with me, or not me in general, because I'm just some drunken idiot that happens to be on the internet. But we really need to have a sit down and a good powwow with a lot of the people that are grifting and just saying things just to say things, just to make a buck or two, just because of the red pill MGTOW movement. That's not what that's about. It's about it's about sharing experiences. It's about learning from those experiences, and it's about saving men's lives from past experiences. Like I said before in the chat, if you agree with a man, with someone, 100% of the time.
Sorry, man. I'm multitasking. I pressed the wrong fucking button. Also,
your
30 second.
Okay, 30 seconds and I'm done. If you agree with a man 100% of the time, it does not make that man a scholar. It makes you a fool. Think for yourselves, gentlemen. Think what's best for you. If what's best for you disagrees with another person's ideology, hey, no problem. That's all right. You stand on your base. You stand on your frame.
Let the church say.
Yeah, fuck you, Rhino. I was going.
Hey, you got it. You got it. I think we got it. J-Mo. Outlaw. God damn it.
Sorry, I got out during that 8-minute 30-second speech. You know.
We all know it was coming.
Fellatio. It's not just for women anymore. So. What'd I say?
Now just go on. Final thoughts, you son of a bitch.
So someone brought up a point earlier, and I think it was Tommy, on his opinion of what makes a man, right? I think it's the ability to actually take care of things. Your family, your life. For fuck's sakes, please keep a goddamn job. Like... That motherfucker Rusty was pissing me off on so many levels. I mean, and then I got to hear him speak, and it kind of cooled off because I get where he's coming from. But you can't just eliminate. For one thing, women are going to support channels like this. It is what it is. It's going to happen. Right? Alienating an entire sex probably isn't the way to do it. I agree with limiting. That's completely fine. Hold on, I still got 7.5 more minutes because Jimmy got that.
Shut your fucking mouth. You're done.
No, I'm not. That was 2 minutes. That was 48 seconds. I can't.
Let the judge say.
You got one more sentence. Make it good.
That's what she
Okay,
said.
I'll add some commas.
Been waiting for that.
Sharpton for president, y'all. I'm out.
Wow.
No, that wasn't my sentence. That wasn't my sentence.
No, that was
wasn't my
it.
sentence.
That's all you get. That's
No.
all you get. Nope, you're done. Nope. After party for you. See you in a minute. All right. Agent of Town, your final thoughts.
I can unmute it from here, a-hole.
You know what? Backstage, final thoughts for you. Agent of Town.
For my final thoughts, I just want to give a shout out to a very special member of our red-themed collective for men, Jimmy Bones, because I happen to know for a fact that man usually drinks from a red Solo cup, and it's very red, that Solo cup. There it is, right there, right? And I believe that this community can be inclusive of men who have rainbow man hammocks and like to put bones in them.
That got so much
I
worse
salute
so
you,
fast.
comrade.
All right, I guess I'll take us out of here. We have a full fucking panel. I've got no more room. I've given all I've got to give. I haven't got any more.
That's what she said.
I saw one. Yeah, of course you did. I saw somebody trying to join. Wait. We'll get you in the after party. Who the hell is screaming at me? Well, it wasn't him. I thought it was. Anyway. All right, we're going to get out of here. Final thoughts. Here it is. God damn it. Yes. We're never going to end the show. Mando, what are your final, extra final, PS final thoughts that are final?
I don't know.
Well, unfortunately, your mic
thoughts. I was
is...
gonna say, I don't know what's going on with my system. I'm going to duck off.
Gotcha.
It'll...
Understood. All right. We will catch you next time, sir.
How we going?
Okay. Yeah, that happens. We got to figure out his mic situation. Final thoughts once again. Perhaps I should have thought about the title card and thumbnail my video better. And when I fuck up, I'm willing to admit that, because apparently you guys associated me with some fucktard, tranny-loving freak show pedophiles, and that is not me or anything I condone, or any of my panel members, for that matter, condone. So maybe I should work on my titles a little bit, huh? No, seriously, fuck all of you. No, I'm kidding.
No, this was
Jimmy, you're next. I will put
up.
you next to JMO in timeout. Do it.
Shut up right now.
Already gone.
You're next too, you son of a fucking squirrel loving bitch. Let me get these final thoughts out. All right, don't be a dick. All right. Don't be a dick. That's it. If you see a guy and he's like, hey, you red pill guys are kind of cool, don't call him a fucking communist just because he voted for a different guy than you. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Don't be a dick. Okay, that's my final thoughts. That's the whole reason for this whole stream. Don't be a dick. All right? So I'm sure tomorrow somebody will be making a drama stream about how I sound like bullets for teeth, and somebody will stir up drama for months about my channel supporting blah. I've said it a million times that I don't support it. So if you do make a show like that, just remember what I said tonight. Don't be a fucking dick, and everything will be okay. On that note, we're going to get the fuck out of here, because I said no more 3-hour streams, and I lied.
And you failed.
I lied. So let's get the fuck out of here. Let me go to the putting everybody backstage part of this. I will see you in the after party. If you'd like to join the after party, of course, follow the link. If the link doesn't work, it means you're in timeout until we can get you in. Keep trying. People will leave, and then you're welcome to join. I will see you guys all, I don't know when. Life is kind of up in the air right now. I'm going to make my best effort to keep the Friday shows going. We'll see, man. I've got some changes coming. I'll figure it out. But we'll continue the show. It's going to happen one way or another. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support as always. If you haven't already, please head over to redpillrhino.com and subscribe on MGTOW.tv or Rumble. If you'd like to support the show, of course, you can donate the thing, you know, the thing. You can do that or PayPal or Super Chat. You're always welcome to do that. But please do subscribe on at least Rumble or MGTOW.tv, because this stream tonight, oh, that was another part of my final thoughts. I'll try not cussing next week, because this week did get a little, I don't know, heated at times, and I fucked up. And Tommy's at fault for starting it, so at least I don't take full blame here. Anyway, let's get the fuck out of here. It's been a good show. I think it's been a productive one. God, I'm fucking tired. Yeah, I hope, if anything, you guys took something good from this. And that's it. I'll see you guys next week.
We are the arbiters of this society.
We keep documenting public citizen. We must maintain a neutral carbon footprint. Repeat. We keep documenting. We must eat the bugs. Repeat. We keep documenting. We must eat the bugs. Repeat.
This is a world that we create and manage. The people, they need to be controlled. We will give them truths, but only our truths. They are not to seek information anywhere else.
It is my job to keep order. So what you saw didn't happen. Erase everything.
You a grunt? I used to be one, and I was good at it.
I know. Things were simpler then. I have some questions.
You need to understand, we're being hunted.
By who?
Bring him to me.
This breaks the world.
Your story isn't over yet. There's still a page left.
Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me f***ed up. Let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.